Well, hello everybody, and welcome to the show today. Very happy to have you all here. Of course, it's been a little bit a while, but we picked up last week really well. Had a very eventful day, which we'll get into here shortly, and try to get some resolution out of that. We have been chatting, and of course, I think I said it live as well. That excuse me, after we finish Omni-Hero here, we're going to jump into a fantasy game. Although the good thing about Omni-Hero is we could jump back anytime we want to run some mission or do some kind of thing. It's an easy thing to jump into, and I think I will do that because sometimes we do have to have one-offs for some reason or another. And I think Omni-Hero is an easy thing for us to jump in and do with that. We're going to finish what we're doing, of course. But curious with you guys because we've been talking about it, and I think everyone's chomping at the bit for a fantasy setting again. We're going to do fifth edition, by the way. Um, when do you want to do that? Do you want to do that after we finish the Hella storyline here, or you want to do
Sure.
more?
Probably see like we'll see how long it takes for us to get like finished with this. I mean, I'm sure you kind of have a general ballpark, but you never know with us,
That's true,
right?
but it's not
Um,
Sure,
not
you
long.
never,
We're toward
never,
the end game now.
never know when your character's gonna die. So
You never
that's
know. That was a
true.
good fight, though. That was a good death.
That was.
Yeah. But
But
anyway,
um,
you know.
yeah, I will. I guess we'll see. We'll kind of see maybe where we leave off with this. If we want to keep going a little while longer, but
Sure.
you know, yeah,
I'm
I'm
cool either
definitely
way.
down for the. Yeah, I'm down either way.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Getting back to the fifth edition, which is simple, entry level, anybody can come play it. Everybody knows
Hint,
it's a
hint.
well, what did you say there, lady?
No, I said hint, hint.
Oh, hint, hint. Oh, yeah, no. But anybody can do fifth edition. It's what it was created for. It's a D20 system, super simple. So if anybody listening wants to come and give it a try, that's when you should do so. I'm doing a very kind of, well, I don't want to say old school because we're using fifth edition, but I'm doing it very old school in the simplicity of it. We're not doing, this grand epic mission save the world from dragons, Tiamat like we did with Bill, which was fun. I'm not a person who runs modules very much, but that was actually a good time. And of course, we did another thing with Bill before that. But this is going to be very simple. It's called Iron Pass, which is a town that is very young, newly established, and I'll get into all the, I'll do my what I do when we run it. But it's basically player's handbook. Make whatever character you want, and we will fit it into the campaign setting as possible. And it's just young people. We're not having old people. It's young people who are want to do some adventuring. So if you're interested in that, let us know. You could talk to anybody here. I'm only around on the days you guys see me. The rest of it, I'm working. But of course, GOP's here, Puffin's here, and Lady as well. You could talk to them and tell them that hey, I want in, I want to try it out, and you should. And like I said, we'll be doing that in the near future. Of course, we're going to be doing Omni Hero now. But nevertheless, before I do get into our recap and all that kind of stuff, how you doing, Puffin?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm here. It's nice to, have a slower pace, which is a ridiculous thing for me to say. But I was surprised because usually, what screwed me up? I had to come back to Japan, so I had to get on a plane,
Hmm.
fly all the way back, and then all the way back into Europe. That's what killed it.
Oh no.
Because I had to go back for the holidays. My son's getting married, and oh, it's just it's a lot of stuff, family stuff, responsibilities, which are good things, right? But GOP.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, here in Japan when they start getting engaged or married, you meet with the boyfriend, of course, or the girlfriend, and of course then you meet parents, and it's a whole thing, right? And in America, I don't know how it's run anymore. But uh, my daughter, I met her boyfriend. She has one.
Oh.
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah. That's what I said. I was like, oh. and he's a big old tall boy because she's a tall. Well, she's not tall for an American point of view, but for here she's tall.
Yeah.
And because I'm a freaking Sasquatch. I don't know
Giant.
what's my new title? Wampa. That's what I am. That's what they said. They said I'm a Wampa. So
Oh,
alrighty,
Whopper.
I'm a Wampa. But he's actually he's not my height, but he's close. I'd say he's 6'1" maybe.
Oh.
Right, which is
Nice.
pretty good for Japan. And of course, she can actually wear heels with him. Nice boy, got a great job, works for a really big company in Japan. It's all good, all golden. But the thing for me is that I actually met my daughter has a boyfriend, and they're serious about it. They've moved in together.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
Oh no.
So you found out about it
Well, that's what
around
the
the.
meeting was. Well, yeah, it was all around that time.
Uh,
I had to come back, then I had to go back to Europe, but that was all work. The second half was all work, right? Because I had to deal with property stuff. But the other thing that killed me was when I was in Prague. Some some asshole went and shot up Charles University.
Mm.
Some
oh.
former student, disgruntled student, got it when they were gun killing people. I wasn't at
Well.
the Charles University, but I was affected. They locked us down. I guess the Czech people are not used to such things. It's weird. In my head, you would think they were. It's Hollywood did that. Yeah,
Yeah.
they
The
actually
media.
don't
A
deal
number
with
of
those things at
things.
all. Yeah, that sucked. You guys didn't see that on the news?
Nope.
Uh. It might have got buried in other stuff.
Ah, well, yeah. For Americans, that's old hat.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Sadly, but But anyway, and since they were all kind of all the people who were managing the event kind of locked us down. They were in a panic mode, and you know, it was what it was.
Yeah.
So I didn't really have much time to kind of just take some time, and usually a day or two, I'll just kind of walk around the city I'm in. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I
Didn't get
couldn't
to do
really do
that.
that. I didn't get to do that. Yeah, it was unfortunately because Prague is gorgeous. It is a beautiful city, dude. Um, Way better than Paris. But then again, Paris
Sure.
has literally got dog shit every 5 steps. So
Yeah.
yeah, Paris is pretty filthy. Anyway, we're not here to talk about
Mm-hmm.
that. We're going to get into it here. So let me go ahead and just jump on the other side, and we'll take ourselves a look. I'll go ahead and share with these guys so they can see.
Yeah.
And then we'll get into talking with Lady a little bit here, which is probably going to be a chunk of the early part here. But nevertheless, let me give an update real quick. Of course, you guys know we're doing Omni-Hero, and they're involved with the New Dawn cult. And of course, during that, they found out that they're actually dealing with a goddess, but they're not actually dealing with a goddess. They're dealing with a goddess, but a much older and more deadly one, particularly Hela. And here is our Hela, which they got a glimpse of. Anyway, they had of course, Puffin is locked down in Elysium's red light district, basically. And
Oh no.
oh no, oh, so bad for him. But these guys were doing some follow up. And they were following clues and doing good sleuthing as they're supposed to, as Velma the real Velma would do. Don't watch
Mm-hmm.
that crap. Okay. Anyway, and they went to a sorority house on a University of Rhode Island campus because they were tracking down, and they've come to an understanding that these cult members are actually all dead, and they've been resurrected by Hela in some way, which they know. Well, they know the book probably has something to do with it. But nevertheless, they went in the sorority, and they found someone, all right. They found Ragnarok, and they had a knockdown drag out, and they didn't have their lightning god with them, which is, yeah, unfortunate. Unfortunate.
The whole
Um,
party was split.
and the party split because GOP thought it was wise to chase some professor he could find anywhere instead of sticking with his party. And
Well, to be fair, we weren't inside the building yet. we were outside waiting for the team, so I thought we had a minute, but never mind.
Well, it's still we blame him, right, lady?
Yes, it's still my fault.
Yeah, it's still
Yes,
his fault.
there we go.
Without there's no question about that. I don't know why you're trying to defend yourself. It's ridiculous. But anyway, of course, just to let you know, of course, this is Ryzen. Of course, we got Kitty on the team as well. Although she's basically calm, she's got a little useful things there, though. Of course, we have the almighty Cloaca and Blue Titan was lost in that fight. We actually had a player death. They killed Ragnarok too. She died as well, but Blue Titan went down against Ragnarok. And therefore, that's where we pick up. There was a tragic scene with, burning buildings and smoldering this, helicopters landing in slow motion, smoke going here and there, GOP, that kind of thing, holding her in his arms. Yo-Yo Mama came off the chopper looking somewhat concerned, and everybody kind of slow motion coming in, and then everything went to black, as it's supposed to be. Therefore,
Dun, 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 dun.
it's the next day. You're sitting in the meeting room in a debriefing, GOP, and you and Kitty are there, of course.
I've got that 1,000-yard stare going on.
You do. So this is 3 days now. This is it's only been 2. This is almost 3 days that Ryzen has been missing, right? And you're in this debriefing, and various governmental people who have no clue who they are asking questions, and you're answering it because a member has died. And, Omni-Core International doesn't take kindly to that. However, of course, they have to expedite things as normal, and of course, they've already made a call to bring in a replacement for Blue Titan. Lady, what are we looking at?
We're looking at a very furry person.
Okay, alrighty.
And decided to make her like a little lycanthrope. And I mean little.
So a myth. You're playing a myth. Okay.
I'm playing a myth this time. Yeah. So she'll probably have a hood up over her head when she comes in, but it's hard to hide or tell.
Are you playing a half breed like Kitty, or are you playing a full myth?
I don't know. Is there really a difference?
We tried to make her a full myth, and for some reason, every time I tried to generate a female werewolf looking character, it just would not do it. It would always just be she would look human. She might have the wolf head, but she was definitely female human body.
Well, Kitty's father is a man, a Latino man named Perez, Mr. Perez.
Yeah.
She's she's half human, half myth, but she's classified as a myth because she functions as a myth, right?
Well, lady, out of those pictures I sent you, did you want to send one to Chester or whichever one Puffins?
I haven't chosen.
He had better ones than
yet.
me. Okay, never mind.
Okay.
I'll shut up.
All right, go ahead. So you're playing a myth.
Yeah, a myth.
Is she full breed or half breed?
Make her full, sure.
Okay. Now keep in mind, full breeds are basically bipedal animals. They're anthropomorphic animals. Kitty is not that, right? She's a half myth.
So I don't wear no shoes because she's got those, backward heels
They
and
always
stuff
have
like that.
tails. They're gonna have muzzles instead of faces. Things like that.
So she's a young one though. She wants to go experience life outside of her home village.
Sure.
Which is probably where she comes from. So yeah, she joined the group after passing some test or something like that. So
Omnicore.
Yeah.
She joined Omnicore. Yeah.
Joined Omnicore. Yeah. I ain't got too much more based up on her. So.
Well, that's fine. Because this is a very, very new team. You've probably gone through 6 months to a year of training with Omnicore, and maybe you've been posted at some beginner learning place for a little while somewhere in the world. You can choose as you like, and
Okay.
you got the call up yesterday, and of course they used the transporter system and they got you into Pawtucket, Rhode Island. Therefore, you are a myth, but you get what kind of myth are you? What animal do you resemble?
Lycanthrope myth.
Well, we
Wolf.
lycanthropes are not myths.
Okay, okay.
Well, she resembles a wolf.
So you
A
want to look
reasonable
like a
wolf.
wolf. You want to be a wolf
Yeah,
girl. Okay, all right, that's fine.
yeah.
Lycanthropes are a magical creation. They're not
Okay.
myths. Yeah.
Yeah, she's not actually a werewolf because she doesn't transform like that. She's a wolf
Yeah.
girl.
She's a wolf girl.
Yeah.
She's a myth. Yeah, I get it. So what color is your pelt?
She's just grayish looking.
So just a standard gray wolf. Okay.
Yeah.
And lady, does she what kind of clothing does she wear? I mean, myths tend not to wear much because they're hot and odd. I mean, you have full
Yeah.
body coat, right? So they tend to wear like utility belts or bags and things like that.
Yeah.
You could do as you like, of course, but
Yeah. Uh, a lot of fur showing, I guess is what you would say.
yeah, no, you're fully
Something to hold the girls down for they won't go bouncing everywhere.
well, sure. You might have some kind of bandolier for that.
Wrap around.
Yeah, no. Like with Kitty, didn't we see Kitty naked for some weird reason?
Yeah, because
Yes.
She was
she was
under the
changing
mind
into an
effect of
outfit while we were being like
mind
mentally
control.
manipulated.
Right. So with Kitty, she has human skin except around her groin and of course coming into her short tail. She's otherwise she looks like a human. Her face is a little mousy, but yeah. So
Oh,
with
so she's
you,
not a cat. She's a
she is
mouse.
no, she's a cat.
Yeah.
That's her mother. But so her mother would look similar to you, but just like a cat version, right? Her dad's full
Oh,
human.
yeah.
Um,
Okay.
so you wouldn't look like that at all. You are covered in fur. You're literally a wolf that stands and moves around. Is
Yep.
what you are. Okay.
I
And
probably have some kind of device that I can, like pick up and write with a pen or pencil or something
oh
like that.
no,
Cause
you're didactic. It's okay.
oh,
Yeah.
okay.
We'll just have her profile pic is the go to image.
Yeah. Okay.
There we
Anyway, so
go.
we know what
Yeah.
she looks like. And what can she do? Now, myths are mostly they're physical based as far as what their
Yeah.
abilities are. They
Yeah.
don't, and of course,
So
they have a very. Let me finish. They have a very close relationship with the Magi, right? More than any other group on Earth, because the Magi are the ones that step forward to protect them because they thought that it was an important moment in history and they needed to be preserved. So the Magi and the myth are very close. They see themselves as your protectors. Therefore, there are many myths who do learn magic, and there's many myths who carry magic. If you look at Kitty, who I have up here as an example, Kitty's abilities, she is feline, therefore, she does have physical speed boost, so she's fast, and her stats are pretty good. I mean, they're not amazing, but she's very graceful and she's a good fighter, and her fitness is pretty good, and her awareness is very good. But if you look at everything else she's got, they're items, right? She does have the cat's luck, which we worked into that, so that is built-in
mm,
physical thing that's kind of magical. But the other two things she has is a ring and a sword, right? She doesn't have claws. Well, she does. They're just not lethal. So Kitty is a very standard example of a myth. They have inborn physical abilities, and anything external they have is usually magic that they've either learned or gotten from the Magi. So, what is it you want your character to do, or what did you choose?
well, I always loved body armor, so I figure I'm going to be physical again. So get body armor, and then
What
the
kind of body armor?
second
Is it literally a suit of
Natural.
armor?
natural.
A
It's a
natural
natural.
body armor. Okay, so how does that work into the wolf, though?
It's just got fur and tough skin.
That doesn't
Or
make sense
her
for a wolf.
That doesn't make sense to anyone.
well
Okay,
her
but
Just make
her
it a
fur
magical
could
item.
have some kind of special property.
that's why it's always gray. Mm,
No, it doesn't. It
That's fine.
doesn't work like that. Is what I'm
it
trying to
doesn't
say
work
about
like
that.
that. Okay.
But no
Uh,
problem. She just has. She wears a ring of a force field or something like that's fine.
See, I originally never mind.
Well, I'm just saying that's an easy way to do it.
Yeah, and
The
then
only difference
her.
with force fields to armor is they're reversed. So, say you have 30 armor, that is 30 versus physical, and it's minus 10 to energy. So it'd be 20 in this case. Excellent.
Right.
So, but force fields are reversed. They're stronger against energy than they are physical.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, so the second skill we ended up with shrinking.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Once again, we can just make that an item, right?
Yep.
Okay. To be an earring or something or
Which
stud.
is it's
Maybe make it
shrinking
a
at
medallion or a
so
belt, or you could do
Yeah.
earrings. Doesn't really make sense though, but well, you could if you
Oh,
want, sure. And anything else?
those are on two
Okay, that's
abilities
fine.
she has.
yeah.
So she has her
Out
own
of
force
4.
field.
Yeah.
And what is the power rank for that?
Amazing.
It should have been under
46.
remarkable, or well, no, what was it? Was it remarkable, or what do we have it under?
It's at
46?
46.
Oh, we
Yeah.
did spend some points in it. Okay.
Yes.
So that's amazing.
3 building points into it. I
Okay.
do have 2 weaknesses. Silver.
Which okay.
Yeah, and then the weak spot where when you roll 100,
that I
immediately
have.
yeah,
Right.
has to start. Since I die so much anyway, who knows?
Well, I mean, the silver thing, I get why you chose it, but it doesn't really make sense for a myth though, because you're not a
I
lycanthrope.
know, I
Yeah.
know.
But whatever, it doesn't matter. So all right, we have that, and you're shrinking. What is the sizes that you can get to?
I can get, I think, 1 inch,
Yeah, she's remarkable, so she can get down to 1 inch, and
which is a plus
it
2 column
doesn't.
shift to tactics, and negative 2 column shift for enemies attacking me.
Yes, yes. Okay. Okay.
And it says in the description that it doesn't impact like your strength or anything too, which is
Well,
another
it
thing I
depends
was
on
like,
which one you choose, but yeah,
yeah.
that's the best one to take. They do offer other options, like, yeah, why would anyone take those?
Yep.
Yeah. Because I was originally looking at growth, and I'm like, there's just a bunch of negatives, and it really doesn't make a lot of sense. And I'm looking, I'm like, well, what's shrinking do? I'm like, oh, that's pretty much like all positive. I'm like, okay, why not? So yeah, she can shrink to very small sizes and still pack a really big punch. She's
Well,
very
really,
strong.
what's her strength?
What did we have it up to? Was it, lady? What did you have it written down as? 'Cause
Amazing.
I know, yeah,
All
we
right,
got it up really high.
So basically,
Yeah.
we have another character that has no skills, no wisdom, nothing, right? That's what we got.
Well, she's good on everything, and I gave her. Did we give her detective espionage? We gave her
Yes.
like a point in detective espionage as well. So she's not useless, but she's not like as
No, basically useless. Yeah, you just
Yeah,
built her
I'm
only for
useless.
combat. Yeah, no, you shouldn't do that in this game. But whatever. We'll see how it works out.
Mm.
In this game, you really need to build a more balanced character. You
Well,
don't want to listen to GOP and min-max yourself into a one-punch character, because that's all you do. If you notice, we don't have a lot of fighting.
Yeah.
Well, your skills can balance that out, though. That's the thing. Like, as long as you're picking up more skills to do that sort of thing, then you're spending way less to do it that way than bumping everything up, across the board on your stats.
You know what I mean, GOP.
Yeah, I'm
Bad
just saying
GOP. Bad GOP.
it works. It works better this way. I feel like.
No, it just min-maxes better. But nevertheless, all right, we have a new character. More importantly, what's her name?
Kara.
Spell that.
Just CAR. Kara. Just a Kara.
So Cara. Kara.
Yep.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So we got Kara has been brought in, and she was introduced. Although these guys are a bit sad, so you're not in this debriefing. You're sitting outside, but there was an introduction earlier in the morning.
All right.
They just lost a team member, so you give them a bit of space. However, after that's all done, Yo-Yo Mama does something very much out of character, and you guys are all sitting in the lunchroom. And let me find that real quick. Oh, here we go. And of course, Danny's in his corner doing what Danny does. You guys are in the lunchroom, and you're sitting down, and Yo-Yo Mama is with you, but she's brought in some takeout Chinese food from a restaurant down the street called Wang Fuck Yeah.
One fuck yeah.
Mm, it's good. And and everyone, and of course, she's trying to create conversation to lighten the mood a little bit, but also introduce our new character, Kara. So let's do a little bit of that. So Yo-Yo Mama asks you. You just met her this morning. You've just met all of these guys this morning. She's the chapter boss here, though. Where were you before? She said.
If I told you, I'd have to kill you.
Yeah, no, that's not.
That's not gonna work.
Going well.
Alaska,
Why?
Alaska, Alaska, Alaska,
Always?
Alaska.
It's like GOP. It's like clockwork, dude.
Oh, Alaska.
Alaska. Oh,
Yeah.
you're up in the Bear Harbor. What's it called? I think it's Bear Harbor. Chapter House. She says, "Oh, all right. How did you like it out there?"
It's nice. Lots of room to run.
Oh well, you won't have much of that here.
Yeah, I figured that much.
Kitty chuckled slightly. And she says, "Well, it's good to have you here." And she looks over at Cloaca and she says, "Almighty," because she never calls you Cloaca. She refuses, by the way.
Mighty.
She calls you Almighty.
I barely
Almighty.
touched my cashew chicken.
Yeah, fair enough. Although Kitty is gorging herself on boneless spare ribs, though she is. And I
Mm.
understand her because I do too. Those things are awesome.
Mhm.
I haven't had those things in decades, man. They're so good. They don't make them like that over here. That is actually of a time. It's interesting. The type we have in the East Coast is very much a Taiwanese style. I don't know how that happened, but whatever. Because most of the Chinese that came over the railroad, which are the ones that made it up over into the East Coast, are from like Shanghai. Anyway. But nevertheless, whilst you guys are having your conversations and trying to get to know each other, and of course everyone's a bit sad, but you got to move on, and there is a job to do, an important one. Um, a a poof of light and smoke appears in the room where you guys are, and stepping out of a light portal, you see a very large man of Scandinavian origin who is missing his left hand. And standing next to him is this, well, she looks like an elf. She's small, and she comes up to just above his waist, and she's dressed as a wizard. You would imagine an old-timey fantasy wizard would be dressed. And he walks right in like he owns the place, and he says, "You are the team of Lord Ryzen, are you not?"
I
Who's
give him
that?
a
Is he dead too?
I give him a stare and a nod.
I do not
Yeah,
recognize this one. He's talking to the little mage sitting next to him. She says, "She's not on the list, sir."
he's the new teammate.
Where is the? And he looks over and she holds the paper up way above her head and he says, "The Blue Titan." Oh yes, that's the one that died. Yes, I had informed him of that. Oh, condolences.
I don't say anything. I'm still pissed.
Fair enough. But he says, "Yes, your teammate, and God, which I've always find this odd how you humans do this. But nevertheless, um, he's got himself in a bit of trouble, and he's requested your presence. And he points to the portal. Shall we go?
I give him another nod because I had just lost one teammate, but hopefully I can get a new one. I can get my old one back. So I'm excited to be saving one of my people. So right away.
Okay. As you guys stand up to go with Tyr, Yo-Yo Mama doesn't say anything, although you can see she's taking mental notes. Kitty doesn't even question it now. And the wolf girl just kind of, well, what do you do?
Um, I go, what's your name, big guy?
He says, I am Tyr, little one,
Cheer. Okay.
god of justice.
Nice title.
As you guys walk past, um, the little elf wizard girl holds her hand out, and she is holding a ring. She gives one to you, GOP.
Okay.
Only. She doesn't give one to the myths. Myths. That's tough to say.
Mithradists.
Myths.
Well, Puffin has mentioned Tyr, if I recall correctly, because I haven't met him yet. I don't
No,
think.
he's
Yeah, I haven't
mentioned
met him.
talk to him. He has most certainly.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
multiple times.
all
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
So I'll put the ring on. Like if I hadn't heard that he was dealing with Tyr, then I probably would be more hesitant. But I put the ring on.
Very well, and the myths don't need it. A little bit of lore information for you, lady.
Yeah.
Myths are of the pure energy of magic that was distilled from the demon bodies that the military had found, where the omnis are um, kind of almost like a side effect, right? So there's still demonic energy with the omnis, but the omnis cannot function in the outer realms for very long. A myth can live there if they choose. Many have in the past, because the myths don't. Well, most myths don't have this knowledge, but it's not the first time this has happened, right?
Okay.
The daemon are absolutely the same thing as the myths. Nevertheless, you and Kitty don't need a ring. You're fine. He needs a ring, or he'll be dead in I don't know, 5 hours.
Makes sense.
Makes sense.
So, what has our teammate gotten in trouble with?
The young girl says, "You will see. Please come along." You can tell she's very pedantic and practical office girl.
All right.
Okay.
So you guys jump to the portal, and Tyr comes up, following you from behind. And boom, you're walking in. You enter into a very loud and boisterous room. This room is gigantic. Imagine taking like 8 football fields and putting them next to each other and around each other to create a gigantic room. You can see there are skylights, there are doors all over the place, there's bars, there's waiters and waitresses moving all over the place, tables everywhere. And in front of you, you see a cacophony of what look like myths and gods, some of them easily recognizable by you, by the way. And there's just this huge, just gregarious party going on. People are drinking and eating and laughing. There's games of chance happening on tables. There's strippers over here and then over there. You see groups of monks enjoying beer. It's weird, right? But it's this gigantic, huge, massive tavern, and I still can't remember the name. Is it I? It isn't Ivan's. What name? What did I call it? Hmm.
I thought it was something that sounded kind of Russian,
It
but I
was Russian. Yeah, I just can't remember what I gave because I gave it for a reason at the time. But nevertheless, it's a big old party tavern set within the baths. Connected to this room, all around it, there are these beautiful baths, Romanesque or Greek style baths all around it. And of course the city and of course the beautiful forest of Elysium lay beyond. However, that has nothing to do with you. Because it has nothing to do with Puffin. And standing in
Mhm.
front of you, of course, lady, you have no clue who this is. GOPUC. Ryzen's sitting there. Kitty goes running past, jumps up in the air, and grabs a hold of you, puffing.
Yeah, I
Mhm.
also go running past, jumping up in the air, and grabbing a hold of him.
Oh, you
And then
both
I
of you.
lost. Yeah, I
As he goes up to like jump and like take a hold of me, I'll like hug Kitty, teleport past him, and
and I was
just
like,
like pat him on the
I
shoulder.
thought I thought you were gone, and I like go to hug you, and I fall down.
Yeah. You almost had to feel the cloaca.
Yeah,
Ugh.
It's not.
Ugh.
Yeah. bleh.
But Kitty has latched on to you. She's crying, and of course you were given the news. Tyr did tell you
Mhm.
that his office informed him that your teammate Blue Titan had died, and we covered that last week.
Mhm.
So you are well aware. Kitty's bawling her eyes out, and she's gripping too much. Really, it's it's becoming uncomfortable.
Let me
But
see.
oh well.
I have good empathy. Let's see.
Yeah, oh yeah, yeah. Oh well, right? It's kind of an oh
Yeah,
well thing, right?
it's well, whatever.
And you see Tyr and his little secretary is always walking around near him, right? And
Mhm.
you also see a little wolfen myth with them.
Is she part of the scenery or is?
She's with them.
she's
Ah,
she's the replacement.
hmm. Interesting. Greetings. I am Ryzen.
She nods her head. Greetings, Ryzen. I'm Car.
All right.
Hmm. A
Um.
wolf. Hmm. Interesting.
Uh. But anyway, let me finish and I'll let you guys do your thing. So Tyr says, "Well, I'll leave you to it."
Yep. Got to figure out how to solve this little predicament. Hopefully, it doesn't get any.
You said you were stuck here?
Oh, and he says, "Oh yeah, by the way," and he looks at the secretary, and she hands up a little file, and way above her head, and he takes it, and it looks like a an envelope in his hand, his gigantic hands, and he says, "Yeah," and he opens it up, and he looks at it, and he says, "They say they've kind of I had them do a bit of more deeper analysis into that tattoo on your back." Um,
Yeah.
this holding spell that's locked you here, the person that's put it on you must be here as well.
Mm. So
So they're
whoever's
here now.
Yes, they must be within the vicinity to keep you here. So
Hmm.
I guess you know what you need to do. He nods over to
Yep.
Hachiman, who is starting to become quite drunk. He's on his 284th Stein, and it's starting. He's red faced now. Yeah, a little bit. So, Tyr leaves with his secretary. So, little bit of information. Whoever the person who did put that holding ward upon you is somewhere in this vicinity, and your team's here to help you.
If
So wait.
only there was someone who was captured who could help us figure this
Indeed.
out.
Indeed.
If only.
If only. Oh,
Uh,
too bad. Anyways.
Do you have any leads?
Hit, wink,
Well.
wink, hint, hint. Yeah, I'll
Let's
leave you
see
guys
this
to it.
tattoo.
You guys go ahead and role play this out. Go ahead.
Let's see this tattoo.
Um. Show they put a tattoo on my lower back of some kind. Apparently, the others say there's some kind of significance to it, but it's a binding spell that keeps me here.
You have a
Oh,
trip stamp? Oh my god!
they keep calling it that. The nymphs didn't seem to mind, though.
I look at it, even though I don't have the skill for it. I am around a lot of magic type of
You
people
have
and
no
symbols,
clue.
right?
You have no
I
clue.
have no
No
clue.
clue
Okay.
whatsoever. Yeah, you
Yeah.
have to have the skill in it. Yeah.
Okay,
Or some magical ability which you don't have. I mean, you could have took that. You could have done that.
I know.
Yeah.
I
But
yeah.
this
imagine
is
he's
this is
just.
deep and old anyway. The average person wouldn't know anyway.
Right, and you're the magical guy. Can you sense anyone or?
Let me explain something to you, good sir. Look around you. Sense
Magic everywhere.
their light amongst all of these other lights is like trying to pick out a lightning bug in a stadium.
Thor goes riding by on a giant goat with three naked girls behind him. He's butt naked, by the way. He seems to be about 10 sheets to the wind. The ladies are hanging on for dear life, although they seem to be enjoying it as well.
Does he have a tattoo too?
No.
Just looking.
You know, I'm very tempted as a fellow manipulator of lightning to liven up that particular event, but I'm going to restrain myself. I'm here for business. I have
Let's
to
not
escape.
piss off the guy who's helping us.
The Thor's not helping us. He's riding by naked on the
Oh
way.
yeah, not Thor. I was thinking
So
Oh,
I
Tyr.
yeah.
was going to
Okay.
be like,
Our Thor is the useless Thor, not
Okay.
Marvel's creation yet.
Okay. On the tattooed, is there not like when these things are put on, the person has to put their symbol on it, representing them too?
Lady, your character knows
I don't know
nothing at
nothing.
all about this. You know
Mm-hmm.
zero. Your character doesn't even know how to do tattoos. You don't know
Okay.
anything about it whatsoever. None of these guys do. And Rise
We
is the only
don't.
one that has magical stuff. He doesn't have a clue.
and I can't even see it. I need a mirror.
Well,
Anyways.
you saw it in the mirror already.
Yeah, I
So.
saw the mirror. So the first thing we need to do is locate who has the control on this. Now we can automatically rule out anyone that's heavily drinking because something like this would probably need some form of focus in order to maintain if they need to stay within a range of me in order to keep it up. And if they were drunk, they might just let it dissipate for no reason at any slight lapse, and I'd be out of here.
Out of character.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
You do have that prisoner. You know
Yes,
the
the
one
He
who's
does.
speedster.
You're right.
yeah.
We could ask them, but I can't go to. Well, oh, that prisoner. Yes, that one.
Prisoner, the one who's
Oh,
here
the
with us,
woman.
the one who was
Oh, yeah.
following you.
Yes.
The ones
So,
that's in the loving care of the nymphs.
Mm-hmm.
oh yes. Um, is Kitty still latched on to me? Because I imagine it's
Oh
just kind
no,
of
she's dropped off by now, but she's
okay.
wiping
Good.
her tears. But she's very happy to see you.
Oh,
She's very
good. Good.
sad that Blue Titan is gone. And but
I'll
then again, her catness takes over, and she sees shiny things everywhere.
There are shiny things everywhere. Remind me, young one. There's someone I would like you to meet before you go. Pat her on the head.
She smiles. And you have to kind of pull her back into the group because there is a guy walking by who seems to have some kind of genitalia cap that has various jangling diamonds, and it catches her attention hardcore.
Hindu deities. Anyways,
Mm,
um,
exactly. Yeah, they are weird. You gotta stay away from
yes,
them Hindus.
I'm going to it's like, all right, never mind. It's easier to explain. When I awoke, they had placed me in a chair in the spas in order for some strange reason. All I saw were water and women. Well, nymphs. They're always. I began to explore this area and met Hachiman, who is, well, Uncle Hachiman, and as you can see, very plastered. That's what I deal with. But I took it upon myself to be a man of business instead of pleasure. So I have forgone many things while I am here, and I would like to focus. Unfortunately, I left my prisoner, who has been tailing me, a woman very similar who has white hair, in the loving care of the said aforementioned nymphs. So I'm worried of what I'm going to see once I arrive back, but she is a prisoner that we can interrogate.
And let's go.
Wonderful. Right this way. I will lead them back into the private chamber where I was.
Right, of course. So you guys head across. You guys head across this gigantic tavern toward the southeast, and you, excuse me, you head down this kind of passageway, and you enter into the gardens. Now, the gardens and the spas are one and the same. This place is absolutely gorgeous. This is Elysium. Elysium is one of the jointly created places. It's not, the realm of Odin or something like that. It's like anybody's welcome type of place, and it is kind of a place for relaxation. Really, it's Ryza. It's Ryza.
Mhm.
Okay, good. Um, and you guys come in. You follow him, and he goes into a room, and uh, give me a wisdom roll, please, Ryzen.
Excellent. I just buffed mine. 63 under good is a green.
It's a green. Okay. You thought you heard your name being called, ethereally.
Pardon me, I have a call. I have to take this, and I'll listen for it again.
Okay. Give me another roll. This time plus one column shift.
Hooray!
Ho,
100
ho, 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 ho. Well, you get XP for that.
karma.
Did he
50
roll
karma for
100?
me.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
did.
he rolled 100.
Sweet. Good for you, dude. You
How much
hear it for
karma do I
sure
have?
this time, and it's coming from your left in the garden itself, which you hadn't spent any time in. You were in the
Mhm.
spas, you went right to the tavern, right? But it's coming from the garden to the left.
Well, they can trail behind me. I'm not just going to teleport away in case something else weird happens. So then I'll go towards the source.
He
Got nothing better
veers
to do.
left all of a sudden.
And I veer along with him.
Well,
Like,
you guys don't know. You're following along. You don't know where he's going.
yeah, yeah,
So
we don't know.
you go into the garden and you hear it. You guys actually start hearing it now. It's super small voice, but you hear a voice calling out your full name, by the way,
Oh.
and you
Sounds
finally
like
locate
mama.
it. And underneath a tree, covered by shrubbery. And the shrubbery is actually grown through, it's like through the body of this person, as if they somehow phased into it. Like that's what it looks like. You
Hmm.
see Hana, and now
Hana.
Hana is a minor goddess, like you. Um, she's probably around your age, maybe a little older, but basically your age. She's one of the goddesses of protection, particularly home protection. But she's like, you know who she is, of course. She's from your pantheon,
Hmm.
and you might even have some kind of friendship with her or something like that, or not. But you know who she is, nevertheless. And she's busted up bad, dude. Not only does she have roots and bushes literally through her body, as it, like I said, like she phased into it. She's got cuts, bones, or compound fractures, bones through the skin. She looks bad, dude. Real bad.
Hmm. I am going to all right. So the first thing, do I know off the top of my head at that gathering deities of medicine or healing?
Oh, dude, throw a rock.
Okay, I'm going to immediately teleport back into the group, pick two of them, and it's like,
Um,
excuse me, Lord and Lady. I require your assistance, but for a moment.
Okay, well, you have a choice. You
Hmm.
can either have a Hindu one, because there are a lot of them here today for some reason, or you can have a Persian one.
Persian.
That is the correct choice, sir.
Yes,
Yeah, very
because
good.
there's a
I
chance
would have
I
saw a second of this. What color was her hair? Just making sure.
This girl's hair is black, of course.
Okay. I'm just making sure it wasn't white.
Yeah, I'll ask the little person, is there anything I can do for you to
Um,
make you more comfortable?
she she doesn't speak your language. Um,
Okay, never mind.
but you have found Daru,
Miss Daru,
Mister.
I will give her the custom greeting. May I borrow you for but one moment?
He's like, uh, sure. What can I help you with?
Take my hand.
Oh.
He thinks for a
Someone
second.
is
He
in,
smiles, kind of winks, and grabs your hand.
and then I'll teleport him back and show him.
He's like, oh, and immediately he starts working on her to fix it. And this guy is not a greater god, but he's more than you need.
Mhm.
And he's able to remove her from the plants that have literally phased through her body. He fixed wounds, and you guys see all this amazing magic going on as he heals her and brings her effervescence. Oh, Jesus, help me out, GOP.
Effervescence.
Thank you.
Her. Yeah.
Effervescence back. And she gets her color back, and she's, sore, of course, but she's like, oh, and arigato gozaimasu. The god is like, he looks over at you because he doesn't know what that means. Because you guys are speaking English, right?
I will translate.
Mhm.
All right.
I will translate what she's saying.
And he says, cool. All right. Well,
Thank
nice
you,
to have
sir. I
met you
found.
guys. And he comes over and he grabs your hand. He kind of he kind of pumps it. That weird, creepy pumping shake. And he's like, he whispers in your ear. He says, anytime you're around, love to buy you a drink.
I'll pat him on the shoulder, and it's like, have a great one, bud. Hachi says he might owe you a drink.
Oh, you
Chuckling
bastard.
to myself.
That'll go well because Hachiman is the male, right? The ultra male,
Mhm,
right? But anyway,
mhm.
that's shenanigans in the tavern. But she, like I said, she's completely healed, but sore and a little bit dazed. And she's speaking you in Japanese, particularly. She says, "You're alive."
Indeed, I'm free, and I'll kneel down next to her.
She senses you are not free. You are bound.
Well, yes, I was free from the first prison, and now I'm put in a second prison by someone that may have done this to you, I'd imagine.
Well, I saw what was going on, and I tried to intervene and stop them. I don't know where they were taking you or what was happening, but uh, I stopped them from taking you wherever they wanted, and we ended up. Where are we?
I will explain that we are in Elysium, and I will show them the mark.
Show her. Okay.
Yeah, show her.
Um, she said, yes, yes, I could sense that. Um, I don't know what was happening, but I felt you were in danger, and I tried to intervene, but the magic was very strong.
Yes, I thank you for watching out for
So now you understand that you're not where you're supposed to be.
me. Mm-hmm.
And this is why the
That
situation is weird.
yes, but I think that they were coming to like a transition point. They were going to go somewhere else from here, and then the she intervened. So I owe her a great debt.
So it's
Um,
her tattoo. Okay.
It's not
What?
her tattoo.
No.
No, it's not. No.
So Puffin, are you translating any of this for us?
yes, I'm translating.
I go, hey, hey, Ryzen, you might want to ask her, who exactly was traveling with you?
That is
I
a good
will.
question, and you do get it out, but you're slightly distracted because there are two, maybe the most gorgeous women you've ever seen in your life. I mean, like times 10, are rubbing various parts of your body and whispering in your ear how sumptuous and wonderful it would be for you to spend some time with them.
The
I'm
nymphs.
gonna go investigate around the bush over there.
Give me a will roll, please.
All right. Not gonna be good, hopefully.
Hopefully, it's a bad roll.
Hopefully
Oh,
I
it's
fail, man.
64.
64.
Yeah.
What's your will?
My will should only be good, so
Oh, you suck
yeah.
balls. So you need a red.
Oh, I need a red to
Hooray!
resist this?
Yeah, you do. Yeah, because it's above your level, right? It's not 2 levels. It's only excellent, an excellent
Mm-hmm.
effect. But nymphs, they're kind of notorious,
Indeed.
especially when it comes to human men.
Well, I mean,
He
Anyway,
looks like a
um,
pigeon.
yeah,
Oh,
I failed. I failed.
it doesn't
Oh
matter to
no.
them. That's not what they're after, lady. So,
They'll
but
be really
you
surprised
failed.
when they find out he has a cloaca. Anyways,
Yeah,
Yeah,
they might enjoy that. You never know.
oh
it's
no.
But
different.
it's different. Basically, this is what happens. You give that suggestion, which was a really good suggestion, and you're sure they'll handle this problem. They've got it. It's
Mm-hmm.
a god after all, and these ladies need your attention, and it would only be gentlemanly to do so. So
I need to be consoled. Okay.
yes, you do, and they lead him off to the side of the room. What do you do, Ryzen? Because you understand exactly what's happening. You and Hana do.
Yeah, I'm just I have like that stare. It's like, oh god. Anyways, let me let me think through this for just a second.
All right, leave him to
Out
his
of, out
his
of,
fate. Fair enough.
yeah, I'm just gonna, I could cock block him, but I don't know if that works on Cloaca, so I'm just gonna let. They're not gonna kill him. He'll be fine.
That's true. That's true.
You know what? I'll keep an ear out, and if I think he's gonna dehydrate, I'll save him.
Fine. GOP, they take your character over the side. You see, there's a lady. It looks like a human lady, right? She's
Mm.
completely naked. There are nymphs doing unseemly things to her that are probably illegal in most countries. And
Mm,
she seems disgusted and titillated at the same time. But that's irrelevant because these ladies start working on you, and you're a happy cloaca.
Mm-hmm.
You are. Back to the important shit.
mhm,
You have Kitty just kind of looks over and giggles at it, and then brings her focus back. Once again, a myth would get bonuses to that roll, by the way. But they're not interested in females. What were we saying? Oh yeah, yeah. Go ahead, Joe. Go ahead, Puffin.
So, who was traveling with me?
She says there were two of them. One and they were both goddesses. She said. And Initially, because she saw the whole event and them interacting with you, she explains that she was sent by the council, the celestial council, to see what the hell was going on with you, because so they were concerned, right? So maybe your standing in the celestial council is not as bad as you think it is.
Mm-hmm.
But they sent her because she's a protector goddess, right? To go and
Mm-hmm.
investigate, and she was in the Nether looking at you in where were we? Boston. It was Boston,
Mm-hmm.
right? And She saw the two, and one initially went with them. A very large lady, she describes, and you know this to be Ragnarok. The other
Mm-hmm.
fiery one went somewhere else. But They met someone in the Nether. I watched, but I recognized that one. Do you remember the wars 1,000 years ago?
Hella,
Yes, I saw her.
is she, is she the one that put the mark?
No, she was not
Hmm.
the one magicking you in the Nether. She calls it the Nether. I mean, people have different words for it, right? But
Mm-hmm.
She says, no, no, no. It was a Scandinavian woman, I think.
Siofin, minor lust goddess.
Oh, you
I
know all
will.
about that. Of course, that's what got
I
you in
will.
trouble, she says under her breath.
I will hand her the pamphlet.
She looks at it. She's
She
like,
runs a cult that is gathering up young women for potential ritual sacrifice, and Hela is somewhat involved. We believe that based on what's happening, Hela is that none of these women are actually alive. Well, they don't stay alive. They
She's
are.
making Hellites again?
Yes, she's making Hellites.
They don't smell like the old ones.
That's because she's been siphoning the power of is it
Beelzebub.
Beelzebub
Yeah.
for the last 10 years to power her efforts.
The greater demon?
I'll give her the full story because she reports to the Celestial Council, so therefore I can tell her this
Right.
information.
Her mouth is completely agape. She's like, huh? She said, I have to report this. I'm assuming you have this situation.
Oh yes, are you feeling better? Is your strength returned? Are you all
She
right?
stands up, cracks her back. She said, I feel fine. I need to return and report.
You should at least bring her in front of the person who you captured to see if that's the person.
Sir, you are
I'm
under
not there.
You are under nymph
I am.
control.
Yes.
Sir.
You're suffering nymphomania.
I said nothing. I thought this to
Literally-
myself for a half second, but then
Literally.
I had something covering my face after, and I couldn't think anymore.
I will tell her before you go. One moment. I'm
You're-
going to teleport over to the bound woman. I'm going to grab the rope. That's she's hogtied, so I'm just grab the tie and teleport
She's
back.
dripping, by the way.
I understand that. I will use the wind to basically just, so she's dry.
Dry her off.
Just stand her up, and it's like she shouldn't be able to be here. I'll explain what I said to Hachiman about someone keeping her here. If these are the minions, well, I guess what you're looking at is a Hellite. If you want to take her as evidence, you can.
You might want to ask the hell out of question, though. So
Oh,
she
yes.
said, so this is the new type of hellite. They do smell different, but it makes sense that they could be here, though.
Mm-hmm. Being that they're half dead, I suppose.
Well, they're infused with God energy. Well, demon energy, but it's the same.
Is she gagged right now?
You said she was.
Oh, yeah. So she's gagged. I'm going to undo the gag and ask her a couple of questions.
Okay.
So are you ready to talk, or I can leave you with the nymphs some more?
She's rather dazed, but she's like, no. I'll answer any question.
Do you know where Siofin is, the one who put this mark on me? Where
She's
she is here. Where is she?
She was in the Northern Garden last time I talked to her.
Right. Can you locate her? Do you have any ties to her or any abilities that can locate her?
No.
So, also, does she have anyone with her?
No, we're not supposed to be here. She told me to keep an eye on you while she tried to figure it out.
Not supposed to be here. I see. All right. Well, see the interesting part about all this, and do you know how storms work, Miss? I'm not sure if you're actually alive or not, so I don't know if this would be uncouth. Do you know how the eye of a storm works? And I'll basically just start forming a lightning bolt in my hand. It gets progressively worse the closer you go to the barrier of it, as the intensity begins to pick up. And if there could be dark clouds here, there would be.
Okay.
Let me explain something. This is going to get a lot worse before it gets better, understand? You're going to go with this nice young woman here, and you're going to explain everything. Or else I'll leave you here and forget that you were ever here to start.
She says, no
Understand?
problem. No problem. Just don't get those crazy bitches.
Oh, I won't. You have my word as long as you keep yours. Understood?
Hana grabs a hold of her with her telekinesis. She smiles and she comes over and kisses you on your cheek and she says, "Young lady, indeed." She leaves. So you have two young myths who are intently focused on what to do next. I would assume Kitty is. Kitty's ready. She wants some revenge. What
So,
about you, lady?
I'm waiting for the call sign when we're going to go after someone.
So focus as well.
so we are
The
going
cloaca
to.
is slightly indisposed, however.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to tell Kitty and the. What was your name?
Kara.
Kara. It's a good name. Miss Kara and Kitty. There's a couple of things that I want you to do. If Siofin is in the Northern Garden, she will not recognize Kara. She doesn't even know that she's a part of this. She has the element of surprise. Miss Kara, I will give you. Does Kitty have any of her technology with her?
She does.
Kitty, can you show Miss Kara a picture of Siofin?
She does.
Bring her up to speed about her abilities and what she is.
She said, "I get what you
And
want. We'll go scout her out."
I will save the cloaca from his impending life experiences.
The girls take off. Lady, you and Kitty, you move through this gigantic tavern to the north. Like I said, I don't know how much your character's into history or mythology or cosmology or what have you. I don't know what kind of skills you took, but there are recognizable gods here and various things. Like I said, there's a lot of things here that look like myths. Some of them might be because you guys can exist here, um, but it's just this big old party of happiness. There's no anger here. Everyone's having a great old time. As you reach the north, you head into a series of passageways very similar to what you just came out of into these northern gardens. The only difference is where you guys just left, there were gardens and a lot of spas and pools. You were in a spa room, actually. Up here is mainly just garden, and they are gorgeous. They're literally paradisical, right? Kitty has been giving me information on the way. She stops at the door and hides behind a pillar, and allows you to go and try to see if you can scout out this individual. So, do you have any kind of abilities that may allow you to scout someone out like this, lady?
I am looking. No.
I mean, she does have detective espionage, but I don't know if that would help.
That would help if she were looking for clues and stuff, but she's literally just searching for a person.
Mm.
Yeah, but I can also shrink down and slip through the bushes easier too, where they can't find me.
That's probably more of a
Yep.
stealth thing,
Yeah, but you
but it's
don't
not gonna
need
help
Okay.
you.
to do that because this person
Okay.
doesn't know who
She
you
doesn't know
are.
who I am.
Right.
Okay. Acting like I'm kind of lost or whatever.
Well, just give me a straight wisdom roll then.
Mm, Come on. What's that? There it is.
Okay. I
There we
don't. s-
go.
I don't.
16
Oh, there's
Nope.
the
does not
dice.
make it.
So yeah, you look around for a while, you don't find her. Kitty is on your comms. Of course, you've been in Alaska, so you know the Omni-Core
Mm,
International system, right?
yeah.
And Kitty is talking in your ear, and you haven't found her. You got a head now. You have a heads-up display with your comms as well. For kind of you have a fold over, and Kitty can see what you're looking at. And she's trying to help as well. So you guys are continuing to do that.
Okay.
Ryzen,
Yes, sir.
Cloaca.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey
I am
there.
go. I am going to because I have someone else that I need to talk to before this gets underway, and I need him to do something. Well, he should probably help me.
Productive.
Yes, I. Well, I mean, you're being reproductive right now. I need to be actually productive. So Let me see here.
Yeah, but if you want him in a fight, you can't leave him with those girls very long, dude. He's human.
Yeah,
He's going to try.
yeah.
So I'm going to intervene as I must, and I'm going to go up to the girls, and I'm going to put my hand on their shoulders and just teleport them back into the bath.
And you hear, "Aw."
No,
Uh,
she was a contortionist. Come back.
I'm going to grab him, and if I need to, I'm going to use that power stunt I have. It's like the taser and just stop it.
that does help. He grabs his clothing as you guys are walking out of the spas. Luckily we're not with them for very long. You are an Omni, so you certainly have more resistance than the average human male would be. But you're still going to have to give me one fitness roll.
Okay. My fitness is actually amazing. So,
Yep,
yeah.
shouldn't be a problem.
Let me do a roll real fast. Because I realized I did use that power stunt. So
What's up? Yeah.
there we go.
Oh, no problem. Okay.
Oh, hold on one sec.
Yeah, so GOP, the cloaca is fine. And he's stumbling and actually he's quite graceful. He's gracefully jumping and hopping and putting his clothes back on. And you head back into the tavern.
Sorry about that. I had to mute
No,
for a
it's okay.
second.
No, you no problem. You passed easily. You only needed green anyway. That's only excellent power rank. Actually, let me see. Excellent, remarkable. You didn't even have to roll.
Okay, cool.
No, you
So
didn't
I
have to
am.
roll. If it was monstrous, you wouldn't have to roll. So you're fine. Anyway, so you're following Ryzen back into and you're like, yeah, I definitely need to get back to that.
Yeah.
Actually, being an Omni and having such a high endurance, you could probably hang with the nymphs all day, actually,
Oh, I
without any
know.
problem.
I know where I'm going for vacation.
Yes, you can only come here if I, put you here, right?
You
Well,
know, that's
he's
why
got a ring now. It's
we're
his
such
forever.
good friends. Yeah.
You know
That
what?
ring
Alright.
is yours to keep, by the way. You can
I'm
write that
not.
down on your
I
character
wouldn't.
sheet.
I wouldn't let anyone else have it. Well, the ring
Celestial
just
ring.
lets.
Yeah.
The ring just lets me exist here, right? It doesn't let me teleport here.
There's actually no, it doesn't. But there's a lot of, but there are ways around that. There are a lot of in these godly realms. There's quite a bit of pressure, right? But they don't recognize it. They don't feel it, right? But a human does, and having that kind of pressure bear on you, it just simply saps your endurance, right? And well, stamina will kill you. But that ring makes you're just fine here. It protects you from that.
Okay.
It's very specific. It doesn't do anything else. It just simply allows you to exist in celestial realms.
And I'm like, all right, so
And it's probably worth
I
a
need.
couple of $1 million.
I'm not selling it.
I'm going to be like, focus. Put your clothes back
Ah,
on.
yeah, right. Quickly put them back on.
All right.
All right, so we have to go talk to one goddess, and then we are going to see how the girls have held up, and then we're going to do a search around this place for Siofin. You can fly, and you look like an Aztec deity, so no one's really going to question someone flying around. And you look like you've had a good time, so don't worry about flying. No one cares. Just don't hit Thor or let Thor run over you.
Yes.
Plenty of room in the sky.
You say that. You, the famous last words. Anyways, right this way. And I'm going to teleport back to the big group of gods and people making merry. If some pretty little thing's walking by with a tray of drinks, I'll grab a drink, hand it to him. It's like, quick, sober up.
Who are
Get
you
the
talking
taste of
to?
nymph. The cloaca.
Oh, cloaca.
I'm
Okay.
completely sober.
No, get the taste of nymph out of your mouth. So let's
Oh,
see.
yeah.
And drink this. Anyways, I'm looking for Bastet.
Bassett. Okay, no problem. She's a bit of a cold bitch. I don't know that she'd be here, dude.
True. I just wanted Kitty to meet a cat goddess before she left.
Oh yeah, I see. Hmm. Why not? For fun.
Hmm.
But just so you know, GOP, one of those nymphs was a redhead.
Oh,
Mhm.
That means she's soulless. She'll try to take your soul. Stay away.
Yeah.
She's a
Um,
ginger.
yeah, sure. As you guys are heading north, you see the Egyptian wing of the tavern is they're all animal heads, and there's tons of myths, or daemon, the old name for them, or
Hmm.
yokai, or what have you, are over there with them, and they're convorting and having a good old time.
Hmm.
The To a point, the Egyptian, the Cometian gods are a little bit stuffy, actually. They're much more conservative than some of the other pantheons.
Well, I have always come across as conservative myself. I unlike most of the deities here, I have not um, done anything that my wife would disapprove of, other than seeing things, I suppose.
Well, I mean, you did get in trouble with the celestial bureaucracy
That's
for
because
some manner of infidelity. You didn't tell me what it was, but
I'll explain that in a little bit.
anyway,
And
you
so,
see, Bassett is over there, and she seems to be drinking some kind of wine, and her feet are being rubbed by a cohort of little cat girls.
I will approach when the time is right. I'm not just gonna like barge up to anything.
Okay. Um, Lady, you've been over here looking around. These guys are doing their
Mm-hmm.
stuff. And give me another roll.
Yes, sir. Nope.
25. I should probably be around flying around and searching too. I'm not really doing
Yep.
Yeah,
anything
but
where
they
I'm
would
at.
recognize you, wouldn't they?
True.
Which is the point of what they're doing. But all
Mm.
right. So you're keeping at it. Kitty can't really get a vantage point because she needs to stay out of sight. You're over there and you approach the Cometians.
All right. I will approach. It's like, greeting. I will take some of that wine that she was drinking off the tray, so that if she's thirsty, I can serve it. And as a fellow conserv, it's like, greetings,
Well, now, what
milady.
kind of lingual skills do you have?
Let me see here. Uh,
I can walk
lingual.
like an Egyptian. Does that count?
Walk like an Egyptian. Du- 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 du. Anyway,
Let me see here. I have my well. The only lingual skills I have is a skill focus in magic, so I would have magical. I could speak I could speak the language of spells.
oh well, that's okay. Um, the ones who are still kind of relevant to the world, which Bassett would be one of them, they would speak
Mm-hmm.
English anyway. The other ones don't.
Hmm.
But the ones that are still people know about, like Horus and those
Hmm.
kind of gods, that they would be with the modern thing. Nevertheless, and Hana is always in the celestial bureaucracy. She doesn't involve herself with Earth at all. That's
Hmm.
why she doesn't speak English. So you say greetings, and they are very polite and extremely highly mannered, the Cometians. And one of them speaks up, and he's a little dwarf, dwarf guy, and he's got a magnificent beard, however, and the power coming off of him is purely radiant. This guy is wicked high level.
Is it Moradin?
No, it's Ta.
Oh, Toph. He's a dwarf.
He is. Yeah.
Oh,
But he says, greetings. What brings of the Oriental East to our table?
I am here on but a simple errand to see the graciousness and wonderful manneredness of the Egyptians. Also, it is terribly stuffy and convorting over in those other cascades of debauchery. And
He
to
laughs. He says,
escape it.
"But it is entertaining for us to watch. We do like to."
Oh, yes, it is very entertaining. I'm trying to be on better behavior, and I'd rather be near culture. Also, I have a associate that's recently been brought here helping me on an official business regarding a criminal that is in these parts as I'm, kind of keeping an eye out to the side. And she is a myth, much like these women who are around Lady Bastet. I was thinking to myself, it might be a wonderful thing if she actually met you at the point to know what greatness is.
She looks at you as you say that, and she says, "Your words are sweet like venom."
I will introduce myself, Lord Ryzen, God of
She
Lightning.
she bows her head. She says, "But there's no need to be rude. Bring her to me when you are ready. We will be here for quite a while."
Oh, yes, I appreciate you, my lady. Be well. If there's anything that I can snatch from the chaos that you might desire, but cannot be bothered to, wade through the ruffians, please allow me.
They silently bow to you.
I will, being, practiced in bowing, I will then step back to where the cloaca is standing, grab him on the shoulder, and teleport back to where we were.
Basically, GOP, you watch this conversation going on. The only thing you really that catches your attention that was focused the whole time is there is a drop dead gorgeous naked cat lady. She got a cat head, but otherwise, damn,
There's a lot for me to take in this
it
place.
is. It is. There's a lot of that. There's a lot of
And
that.
you saw a guy that looks like you, probably Ra or Horus would look a lot like you.
Probably, yeah, that's true.
Hmm.
But much buffer and cooler though.
Yeah. Thanks.
Indeed.
Throwing that part in.
Well, we gotta, he is literally Horace Raw, right? Or Horace Ray, same thing. Nevertheless, back up top, lady. You've searched almost the entire damn garden, and you don't see that there are people milling around here. To be honest, most people are in the tavern though, but there are people milling around, having conversations, enjoying the sun and things like that. Because this is outside and it's daytime. Then again, you've been here 3 days and you have not seen even
I've been here
twilight. No, I'm talking
3 days.
horizon,
Okay.
right?
All right.
You haven't even seen twilight yet. You don't know if they have it.
Mm-hmm.
But nevertheless, give me your final chance, lady.
Might want to spit carbo stuff.
Sorry. That was
81.
56.
Why'd you? Okay.
No, take the 81.
No, the second was a oops click.
Well, 56 actually makes it on the green.
It is a
I
green.
probably have to have a
Okay.
red though.
All right. So what are you rolling under? What is she rolling under?
Be good.
Well,
Yeah,
she has
she's right.
+1
So
column
it's
shift
it's
because
not enough
kitties.
for
It's
her.
under X1.
However, it might be enough for Kitty. So let me go and check that out. Kitty's wisdom is equal. So and Kitty has. Nope, Kitty doesn't have anything. She's just got, but she doesn't have luck though, so it might help. So Kitty needs a yellow as well.
How much karma would she have to spend to make it a yellow?
It doesn't. I'm going to give it a try. So yeah, so Lady can't do it, but Kitty might have spotted something. So let's just give it a shot. Let's just see. Kitty does have one major, huge advantage though. She has luck, and luck works very simply. Matter of fact, I should get rid of that. Hold on a second. Let me clear it here. Luck works very simply. She rolls 2 10-siders, and she takes the higher. So that right there is actually a
Right.
94, not a 13. So why did it? Oh, it was totaling it. I get it. Yeah, she gets a 94. That's the cool thing about luck. Of course, if she actually fails a roll, then bad luck comes, which sucks. But anyway, she didn't. She didn't fail. She's like, "Oh, stop, Kara, look back to your left."
Just reaching over, scratching my back, kind of looking left way, like I got a flea or something.
She says, "Do you see it?" You don't.
What
She
am
says,
I?
move to the
Don't.
left. Move that direction."
No, your
Okay.
other left.
The other left.
To
Okay,
the
going
left,
left. Going
Okay.
to the left. Reach down, pick up something off the ground.
And sure enough, you see a lady who's in the picture that you were shown. She's sitting on a stone bench behind a hedge. There's a hedgerow going on the other side, and she's sitting down, and she has an iPad or some kind of tablet in her hand, and she's frantically scrolling through. She's doing something. She's using it, but she seems to be quite frantic about it. You also notice that um, she's nowhere near that Hana girl as far as damage goes, but she's ruffled up. So
There's no way I can talk to Kitty without her overhearing me. Correct?
no, she's a good 50 yards away from you.
So yeah, you can communicate.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you
So
can. I
I'll.
mean, once again, lady,
Okay.
she has no
Yeah.
idea who you are. She has no clue
Yep.
who
Right.
you are. Yeah.
I'll let her think that. Yeah, that's right. Uh huh.
Yeah, once
What?
again, lady, you don't have to do this.
Okay.
You're thinking like Blue Titan. You're no longer Blue Titan.
I know.
Yeah.
Um.
And Kitty says that's definitely her. It looks like she was damaged in whatever Hana did. She took damage too. I wonder how she got the other one in here. Anyway, that doesn't matter. She
Mhm.
said
Looking for
that's
something
definitely
on her
her. She said,
tablet.
You stay there and you keep an eye on her. I'm gonna tell Ryzen and Cloaca."
All right.
So she gets on the horn and she comes through as you guys just finishing your interaction near the commissions, and Kitty says, "We got her."
All right, payback time.
Hold.
Which I should actually still have my comms, but I'm sure Ryzen does not have his.
Why wouldn't he?
Yeah. Oh well, I figured
Because
they
he's
might have
been here 3 days
taken it off
without
of
us.
them.
No,
Yeah, they might have taken.
they grabbed him and went, and then Hana
Oh, okay.
interceded. Yeah, he's got
So
a
we
Uh,
all
little something
hear.
on her. Yeah,
Yeah, we all hear the
yeah,
conversation.
you do. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
will. Okay, I'm going to tell him. Don't do anything rash. How tore up is Uncle Hachiman?
Oh, dude, deep.
Good lord.
They've been
I'm.
here days.
I know he's been here days. Just like I'm gonna go to Uncle Hachiman, and do I know any kind of like a light sobering technique or something where you can focus for just a minute?
Well, he's a greater god. He probably could if he want, but why would you involve him?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know if he I don't know if I want to if I need him standing in the background if we confront Siofin.
We
That's
can
up to
take
you.
her.
I'll hmm
Are we calling in the big team and we're not going to get our credit?
no, I'm gonna grab you by the shoulder. We're gonna teleport to where Kitty is.
Mhm.
So are we ready for this, Kitty?
Kitty looks extremely determined. There's no little girl there right now.
I'll put my finger on her forehead and we're gonna teleport next to Kara to confront Siofin. I am
Uh,
casting my protection spells on myself.
Okay. Now I'm assuming everyone's ready to go into combat.
Right.
So uh, you arrive next to Kara. You see Siofin, and she doesn't recognize you yet. She's really engrossed in her tablet for some reason.
Sneak
Um,
attack round.
Sneak
uh,
attack.
yes, but you guys are 50 yards away, right? So therefore, this round is going to be mostly about getting into position, and it depends on how you get into position, whether there's a surprise round or not. So, GOP, what do
Can
you
I?
do?
I am going to be. I mean, I move really fast, so I can kind of keep a distance. And besides, I'll just start blasting her when we're ready. So I've got my attacks ready to go, uh, and ready to start shooting at her
That's all
when.
well and good. I don't care about that.
Yeah.
What I care about is what your movement is.
How close can I get without being noticed?
Well, you don't know that.
I mean, okay.
She's right now. You can
What
see her
cover wise?
directly. She
Yeah.
slightly to the right. There's a hedge that would block her vision. She's in full vision now. She's just simply not looking this way.
Okay.
There are many hedges and fountains and stone benches. It's a garden, right?
I'll
Great.
go to that hedge to the right, and yeah, just get close enough, but not
Sure.
not be
That you
there to
can
attack yet.
engage in a simple movement. Sure. So you do that.
Okay.
Lady, what do you do?
I'm going to do something similar, but in a different hedge,
Which
moving
different
slowly,
hedge?
shrinking down to as well. So,
Oh, then okay, that doesn't matter. Now,
okay.
however, when you are shrunk, what is your movement?
We never figured that out.
It's
What is
much less.
Yeah.
yeah? What's your agility?
Well,
It's yeah. It would be a
lady,
grace. What's your grace?
I have a question. Could she
I in
if you have really high
incredible.
muscle, you could jump?
No, she doesn't have that power.
Hmm.
That has to be taken as a power. So
She has
Hmm.
incredible grace.
that wouldn't matter.
Oh,
It's
fitness, right?
simply about the length of her legs.
Oh,
She
okay. I
doesn't
thought
have
there was like
super
a specific
speed. She
stat.
doesn't have flight. She doesn't have any of those kind of things. So she's going to move at her normal speed, but it's going to be applied by the ratio of reduction, which is what, to the
Well,
65th power or something like that.
yeah, she can shrink down to an inch.
Yeah. So
So she doesn't have to, but she can.
Yeah,
and
but
but of course
Some.
Puffin has the
once
solution because he's thinking. Go ahead, Puffin.
yeah,
Mhm.
I am going to, when the time is right, I will take her, like, take the ladies by the, put my hands on their shoulders, teleport directly in front of her, and proceed to shock the ever living bat snot out of this blonde pain in my ass.
Fine. That's one way to do it. Uh,
So I
now
sudden appearing.
so everyone, so you don't even get into a position, and you just simply do it. So Cloaca's like, oh, here we go. So you
Right.
guys, everyone gets a surprise round on Siofin. So let's start. Uh, Kitty, what is Kitty gonna do here? She's not really this. She's not up for this fight, in that way. Um, I think she could do the sword. What is Kitty gonna do? Um, Kitty is gonna get on the other side. And she's going to move in a position to block her retreat into the hedgerow maze that is off out of sight. So Kitty is going to take a blocking maneuver this round to make sure she can't go that way. Uh, uh, then we'll just go down. So Ryzen, what are you going to do?
I am going to, basically, I'm going to put both my hands on the side of her head and shock the ever living crap out of her.
Okay. So
Full.
go ahead and make your roll.
I'm going to use spirit and karma if necessary.
You get +1 column shish because she's unaware and sitting.
Okay, wonderful. Yep, I'm definitely spending stuff because I'm not going to take that.
Okay.
I'm going to spend 99 karma to make it 100.
How much karma do you have?
I have
Why
500
why do you need to make it 100? Why would that matter?
because I
Just
got
get it in the red if you want to go a red.
Okay, I'll make it a red then.
That's a
Which
kill
is
attack, you know.
okay.
With
Then
with energy?
Oh yeah.
oh is
Oh
all right.
yeah.
Then I'll do if it,
Just
yellow's a stun, so I'll do yellow.
Okay.
Where I can't see. There's so many dice. Can you see? What
So
is
clean them off.
stun? It doesn't let me. I can.
I just
There we
did
go.
it for you. There you go.
Should be
So
gone.
I'm under. I'm rolling under incredible.
Yep.
So incredible is
Incredible. In order
six-
to have a yellow, you need yourself a 60. Incredible, you need a 61.
61. So I'll spend 60 karma.
Wow, you literally rolled a 1. That sucks. And you rolled
yeah.
a
It
100
does.
last time? Jeez.
Yep.
Them's the brakes.
Them's the breaks. And so I will spend that to do the stun attack.
Okay. So you succeed. This is an electrical attack, right?
Yes, it's
What
light.
is your grace?
My grace is excellent.
Your grace is excellent. Yeah, so you can only do 1. All right. So, and what's the damage?
Um is it the column it's in, or is it the actual score of my
What's the
is
power
it
rank of your electrical attack?
incredible?
It's incredible. Are you sure? I thought
My
you're.
weather control is 37. I mean
Yeah,
it's
so it can't
incredible.
be higher. It's got to be lower.
So then it'd be one lower, which is remarkable.
Okay. So that's.
26.
Did you add anything to it? Is it just still 26?
I believe it's 26.
Okay, cool. So we got that. Let's go to Lady. First time a new character. What do you got to do? This you've been briefed. This is a bad bitch.
She looks pretty torn up to begin with.
She
I'm
is
just
damaged.
gonna
Yeah.
snatching that thing that she's got in her hands out of her hands.
Just
Why would you do that? Why would you do that?
I know. I think there's something on there that she wants.
Yeah,
well,
but
you can
all
take
right.
it
No, that's
Okay.
after.
fine. That's fine. Go ahead and make a grab roll. Go ahead. Yeah. So a 47. What is your grace?
Grace is incredible.
Okay, so you got a
37.
47 under incredible. That is a green, and you can't grab it out. She sees you and is like, and she moves to the side, and you're not able to grab it. You need
Okay.
a red to do that. A yellow, you would
Okay.
have partial control of it though, and it would
All
be
right.
like a wrestling match over it. Go ahead, GOP.
Okay, I'm gonna fly above her and start blasting her with my acid.
Well, you know your thing, so do it.
All right, here we go. Oh, why did it give me 4 of them? That's weird. Okay, it's trying to add. I don't know why. Okay, here we go. 24 under. It should be, if I'm recalling correctly, under amazing,
Hmm.
and that is going to be.
I miss.
I'll add karma. Screw it. So
All
just to
right,
get it
so
to
you need
green.
two karma, and go
All
ahead and make
right.
your second roll.
I will spend those. Now, second roll. Do roll it again. Here we go. 84.
That's nice.
That
And
should be a yellow.
that is. And go ahead and give me your 1 under good.
Okay. Come on. 52 under good should just be enough.
It does hit, but
Yeah.
you need 46. So you hit 3 times. What's your total damage?
Okay, so My muscle is, because I've been bumping up points, it's not quite, it's like 1 point short of remarkable, so it's 25. It's excellent at 25.
Yeah,
Oh no,
yeah,
I'm
but
sorry, not
we
muscle.
power we do ranks first, right?
No, I'm sorry. My corrosive missile, because I was thinking I was
So it's
punching for a second.
excellent. It's excellent.
No,
Okay.
corrosive missile is remarkable. I messed that
All
up.
right. So 30 and 30 is 40, 30 and 40 is 50. So you do 46 and you said you bumped it up. How many points?
That was mostly for muscle because I was brain farting.
All right,
I
so
only added 1
46.
extra
That's
points on
fine.
corrosive. Yeah.
And his 36, which brings us up to 82. You do 82 points of damage, and I didn't have you do your stun roll because it's unnecessary. She's KO'd.
Nice. That was
Does the mark go away?
No, it does not.
Okay. I am going to contact Tier.
How?
Um, Uncle Hachiman.
Well,
Uncle
hold on a second. Hold on a
Hachiman.
second. Let's back up here a second.
Okay.
Take a breath. Yeah.
Yep.
You have the person you need KO'd in front of you. What are you going to do?
Well, I'm gonna see if she has anything on her to break because if it was something concentration, then she's unconscious. The spell should break,
She
but it
has a
didn't.
small pouch and she has a
Um,
tablet, which I'm assuming Lady has now taken out of her hands because she was going for it.
I'm gonna check
In the
this.
small pouch,
Mhm.
you see that she has some various lady things like lipstick and makeup and stuff like that that you would find. She has a normal human identification, etc. There is a iPhone in here as well, and she also has sitting amongst it various little magical trinkets. One of these trinkets calls out to you. It looks like a small rod that's about 6 inches long, maybe more like five, that has runes carved all over it, and the runes are very similar to that which you saw in the mirror, and you
Okay,
feel a connection to it as well.
I'm going to take it and do I think I can deactivate it, or should I take it to like a? Because I don't want to like snap it and break it and make it a permanent effect or something. Because I don't know
You know that's not how
how.
magic works.
Okay,
You
so
do
if
know
I
that.
break it,
Yeah,
it should not work
that
anymore,
would be the quickest way. Yeah,
or I'll break it.
and the tattoo dissipates.
Excellent. And I'm going to just chuck
Secure her.
these pieces as far as I can away. It's like,
And
or
you off in the distance you hear what sounds like a goat sound and like, hey,
sorry, Pan.
Secure her arms, legs, and mouth.
how?
Entire up to
Anybody
you.
got any rope?
I know someone who does. I'm going back to the nymphs. Excuse me,
Can I
ladies.
can I go with you?
No.
Oh.
Yeah.
Excuse me, ladies. May I borrow some rope, please?
They said, we want the one with the strange hole in his dick.
I will bring him back to you in due time.
Do you promise?
I can promise.
All right. They give you some silken rope.
Good. I will go back and I will hog tie her.
Okay. Kitty seems depressed. She's like, I could at least get one hit in.
Yeah, right. I was expecting that fight to go a lot longer.
Well, here's the thing. Siofin is not a combatant. I mean, look at her power set. She does have telekinesis. I mean, she's a goddess, but it's only remarkable, right? I mean, so she can put a hurting on a human, but how much is she going to be able to do to you? She can't, one on one. I think each of you could beat her actually. She's healthy and robust because she's a goddess, right? But she's a minor goddess of love. She's not a combatant at all. She hires people to do that, like
Where are we
Ragnar.
supposed to turn her over to?
Don't know.
Well,
Well, you guys are pretty convinced that she's not really the one behind this anyway. So
Yeah.
Mm,
maybe, because you guys still don't understand exactly what Hella was doing, maybe there's an opportunity to do a little bit more deeper investigation. You had a
mm.
girl that you could have looked at, but you didn't really look at her, right? You
So I'm
left
going.
her, and now she's gone with Hana to the celestial bureaucracy. So you don't know what's going on. Maybe you should do some investigation. You know,
All right, Kitty, investigate.
Well,
Kitty.
we give Kitty the device since
Hmm.
that's
Tablet.
her specialty. Yeah, and then we should probably take. Do you want to take take Seofin back to our headquarters, or do you want to take her to? Because we can bring her to Tyr technically and interrogate her there, or we could take her back to your realm. But I probably don't want to bring her in the same place as your book. So
Yes, I'm going. We'll take her to Tyr and
and we'll
investigate
invest
her
in
there
Okay.
yeah.
All
to make
righty
sure
then.
the letter of the law. Mhm.
So, uh, you just teleport everybody to Tyr's realm or to
Mhm.
Asgard?
Yes, into the waiting room outside, not into his room, just like
Right,
in
obviously.
front of the
Yeah.
secretary.
You guys all, once again, you're just being teleported around the place all over. You're standing on what I guess you could call it a balcony. It's a gigantic balcony. And there you see written in some foreign language, something. But the balcony is high up on a hillside, and you look over into the valley below, and you see this amazing city of Asgard.
I will then go up to the secretary,
Yeah, this place is hopping as usual. This is a very busy place.
and I will,
Who's carrying
say that
Siofin anyway?
I am. She's over my shoulder.
All right.
I have a prisoner to seat here.
The lady kind of looks and looks at cranes her head to take a look, and she says, "Oh yeah, that one's on the wall. Go ahead."
I will knock on the door as is custom, and
Well, you don't have to because when you go into the main room, Tyr's in there. And of course, like I said, there's dozens of people. These are all detectives, right? And they're, it's a very a loud room of people talking and chatting and all this kind of interaction. Tyr's standing in the middle of it with his little secretary slash elven wizard next to him, or Elfirian wizard next to him, and he's having a conversation with Freya.
hmm,
Yeah,
no,
but
no,
she's
I'm good.
intimidating as hell, dude. You don't mess with Freya.
Oh, I know I don't mess, but I still look. I'm just like, nope, no, I'm a good boy. Anyways, moving forward, I'm
She's got a
going
freaking day of the week named after her, dude.
to. It's true. I do too. It's called Every Day. Anyways, so
Oh,
and so I'm going to approach Tyr. Would you like to see the new face of the Hell?
he looks over and he cranes his head as well. And he's like, Seraphim. He smiles and and you know, to her, you don't understand what he says. He speaks into ancient Norwegian to her. And she bows, she nods her head, and she heads toward the exit. He says, "Please come this way." He walks over to a wall that opens up into a cell hallway. And these cells, of course, are not bars and stuff. They're like energy fields. And he walks past all of them. He goes to a room at the end, and this seems to be some kind of it's like a infirmary, is what it looks like, and but it's also an investigation room. He says, put her on the bed."
I put her on the bed.
He looks over, and there's there's two dwarves. Well, there's more people in here, but there's two dwarves he looks at, and they come over, and he says, "Figure out what's going on with this." And Tyr has a seat and waits. What do you guys do?
Are there a number of chairs or?
Oh, there are a whole bunch of chairs in here. It's a pretty big place. It's probably imagine the New York City coroner's office.
Okay. Well, if he's just sitting and waiting, so we just, I guess we're just sitting too, huh? I take a seat. Oh, comfy.
Yeah, they're not bad. Not bad. What do you do, lady?
But
Lady.
everybody else sits down. She'll sit down.
All right. Puffin.
I'm going to take Kitty, and I'm going to say, Kitty, while they're waiting, I have someone that you need to meet.
She says, "Ooh," in
And
her very kiddish way.
I'm going to teleport her and myself back to meet Bestet.
Okay. Do you leave her with them?
I'll stand. I'll stand back. She needs a way to get back, so I put a stay there
Okay.
with her.
So you kind of it might be a while.
That's fine. It's better than just waiting for a couple dwarves to analyze.
Fair enough. So you kind of watch, and of course, it's not a listed power, but Kitty's actual superpower is her charm. She's just lovable, right?
Mhm.
She has this air of innocence and kindness about her. So although Basset is a rather aloof and kind of cold goddess, she does smile and lighten up to her immediately, right? And all the other little myths that kind of flock around her, well, they're ancient myths. They're not modern ones, but they're very similar to Kitty. Though they don't look like Besset. They don't have cat heads. They're like Kitty. They're like half human. And instantly she makes friends with everybody, and several of the other gods are smiling because they think she's cute, and Basset is quite kind and you know,
Kind of like a
and
mother cat.
yeah. And
You just
Kitty's just having
taking
the
it in
time of her
stride.
life. Back in the other, you guys been sitting for about an hour, and you saw Ryzen and Kitty leave, and they come back. Right? Kitty is just ear to ear smiles. She's so happy, and you notice that she has a little necklace around her neck. It's more like a choker, really. It looks to be made of some platinum or gold, and there's gems and stuff on it. And indeed, the choker that Bessette was wearing, she gave her.
I
Ooh.
Uh,
turn over to Ryzen and I look at him, squinty eyed. I'm like, you went back to the bathhouses without me, didn't you?
I'm just gonna look at him and raise an eyebrow. I'm gonna point to Freya, who's like probably talking, and it's like, why would I go back to the bathhouses
Freya left.
when
She's
all
she
that?
left the building. Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of like I don't think about that all the time like you do. All right.
Now,
Part of
Kitty.
being a deity is pacing yourself.
Now, Kitty jumps over to you, lady, and she says,
Yeah.
"Look what I got! Look what I got!"
Let's see.
And you see, it's this ridiculously valuable necklace that this little cat girl has around her neck. Although that doesn't mean anything to her. And of
Yeah.
course, she bounces from you over to the cloaca, and she says, "Look, look, look!
Oh, shiny.
Is she now? Now, Kitty probably would be calling you by your real name by now. What's your actual character's name?"
My name is P. Eugene Stuhlman.
So Eugene, yeah, Eugene.
Yes.
She says, "Yeah, hey,
Eugene.
look, 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 look."
Ooh, so sparkly.
She says it was a gift from Bassett.
It looks very nice on you.
She says, "Thank you." And by the time that happens, uh, the doors come over and they're chatting to Tyr. And then they go back to the work they were doing. She has been restrained in this place's manner, not the manner you have. And of course, when you look over at her, she's not dead; she's unconscious, and they're keeping her artificially so. But she's completely stripped down, naked. They have analyzed everything that was on her, and she's actually on her side. She's unconscious, but she's kind of facing you on her side. And Tyr kind of nods to you all and and kind of acknowledges you to come over to Adeline or Siofin, and he starts pointing out what the dwarf just told him. And you see that he lifts up an arm, and under her arm, where normally would be just underarm hair or not, depending on if she's a shaver or not. There are runes. They also show on the lower back. There are runes. And on her inner thighs of each leg, there are runes. Now, none of you guys actually read runes. Well, does anyone here read runes? I think you said you did, lady.
No, I did not.
I thought someone said they had runes.
I thought Puffin did because
Puffin
I
said
thought that was part of.
Puffin said he
Did
had
Puffin take it?
runes.
Someone had it. I knew someone had
I
it.
had skill focus magic, and my wife has rune smithing.
Oh,
Oh,
she's
it's
the
his
one with the
wife.
runesmithing. Okay,
Yes.
but it doesn't matter. You don't have to know what it is. But he points these out are magically, and they say that also there are runes on the inside. And as far as the dwarves are concerned, or the Dvergar, he would call them, uh, she's dead.
A dead
Okay.
daughter.
But they are baffled by it, and they've requested to keep her body for further study, and I'm inclined to agree to allow it. Although normally we wouldn't do that because technically she's dead. She has no soul, but yet she is obviously fully in charge of her faculties.
She's a new Hellite.
If Hela has gotten to this level of mastery of necromancy, this is not a good portent.
Well, she's been draining Beelzebub for 10 years to power these things. I
Do
wonder
these
what
guys do electronics too?
their technology is way beyond anything Earth has.
Oh,
Yeah.
hand them the. Well, Kitty's got it. Never mind.
Yeah, they wouldn't interfere in that way. The only reason you're here is because you're with Ryzen. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, otherwise they wouldn't be interacting with you. Gods usually stay out of human affairs, except for the younger ones. But they're very restricted in that manner, and there's many reasons why, treaties and such. But nevertheless, so no clue when she died or how she died, but Sjorfin is dead, although she's undead, right? But Tyr is really perplexed because usually he says, and this is something none of you guys know, that in the past, the Hellite's soul was sometimes clumsily clinging to them, but in this case, there is no soul whatsoever, and it should not work that way. It should not work that way. The soul and the consciousness are directly connected. He explains that the what we call the soul is really more like a bag that surrounds the consciousness is what it really is. It keeps it contained. And he goes into something when you die. He's explaining, right? But she doesn't have that at all. Therefore, her consciousness should simply disperse, but it doesn't.
Hugh,
This is very
I
interesting
have
magic.
I have a question, sir. These runes, could they be her consciousness? Could these be copies? Could her faculties literally be written on the inside of her? Like these are the outside to bring her to life, and on the inside, using technology, Hela's basically been able to assembly line Hellites, whereas before she had to do it by hand, she couldn't reach the inside, but now, they have surgeries, needles, all different types of things that can be included with magic, to
He
where on the inside she tattoos the consciousness, and on the outside she fuses the body.
Well, he starts rolling her around, and he's just kind of, looking all across her flesh. He picks up her breasts. He just looking for incisions. It's not a bad idea. He's looking, and she wakes up during the process of this level of fondling, and she's of course well restrained. Doesn't matter, but she is pissed. and she wants, she can't speak at this moment, but you can see this just burning hate in her eyes. And Tyr notices she's awake, and he kind of gives her like a half-ass slap across her face. He says, "Betraying your people, I see." And he keeps looking, and he finally gets back to the the crevice of her buttock, and he
Hmm.
he separates that and looks, and sure enough, from her groin, her entire bottom part of her groin across the taint and above the rectum, there is an incision line.
Sounds like a wild party.
Sounds painful.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
He
That's
says,
how you get rid of the guts in a cadaver.
"It could be," he says. Hmm. So he snaps his finger, and she can speak, and she begins to, say something nasty, I'm sure. And he looks at her, and he says, "No, no, you will answer my questions." Now he has power that allows him to make people answer his questions honestly if he chooses. So he sits down and he says, "So, what questions should we ask?"
When did you die, and how?
She tries to fight it for a second, and she can't. His power is way beyond hers. And she says, 10 years ago.
Did you
Oh, no,
give up
excuse
your
me. Excuse
power?
me. 11 years ago. Sorry.
Did you give up your immortality freely, or was your life taken from you?
Hela took it.
Hmm. Now, what did you do to anger the goddess of the dead?
I did nothing. We were in a partnership, and she betrayed me.
What was the partnership? What did you have to gain from it?
Power, of course.
Well, I mean, technically, she did give you power. As a Hellite under Hela, you are technically more powerful than you were, Siothin, no offense.
She scoffs.
Although I can't say that I like the white hair. The red was better. Anyways, so you know what is Hela planning?
She says she doesn't know everything, but Hela is determined to take back a realm. She doesn't know which. She assumes it's Earth, the mortal realm, the Midgard. But she doesn't know. Hela has not told her, but she didn't say realms. She said realm.
I see. And your corporation, the girls serving you, they are Hellites also?
Yes,
These women that have been dying in your rituals for many hundreds of years, all sacrifices to make a new Hellite army?
they mean
I
nothing.
I see, I see.
The
yeah, may interject. So, where is Helen now?
I do not know. We were traveling to her domain, and we were separated for some reason. We were ejected from the ether.
I see. I'm not going to tell her why she was ejected because she didn't notice that what Hana did.
No, they clearly not.
So,
Yeah.
so I'm not going to bring up Hana in case Hela is listening to this. So you are technically a Hellite. Is Hela listening right now? Is she able to see what's going on?
I do not feel the mistress.
I see, I see. All right. We'll keep her out. Let's see here. Tyr, I am thinking of a couple of other questions, good sir, but I would not deny you your inquiries, O Master of Justice.
He says, "Oh no, I'm enjoying this quite. Continue."
Well,
Um,
I mean, I can ask another question. Uh, do you know of any other senior leadership and where we could find them? Besides Ragnarok, she's already out of the picture.
The only other place that they have is of any consequence was at the University of Rhode Island,
Okay, so that's where we were.
and that's where
Why?
Ragnarok was. She said. So she's
Yeah.
unaware what happened.
I'm just assuming, but why were you siphoning Beelzebub's power?
I was not.
Why
All right.
was
Why was
why
Hela?
was Hela? And I think it's. Well, I'll just let her answer in her own words. Yeah.
She says that she's using the greater demon's energy to create her new Hellites. She says with disgust in her mouth, even though she is one. Uh, Unfortunately, she had already had some energy from somewhere else. I don't know where she got it when she took me. I was her first. She said I was an experiment.
Hmm. Well, you can't fault Dr. Frankenstein for messing up with the first batch, I suppose. Anyways, so when is she planning to take the realm? What was your timetable?
2 weeks
2 weeks from yesterday, today,
from now.
from now.
Kitty,
And
Kitty comes. Hold on a second. Kitty comes up, and she says she was trying to contact Hella on this device. This is not a normal iPad. This one's magical. She failed for some reason. I don't know why. I'll keep investigating. I don't know much about these celestial things.
I'm going to, Tyr, do you think one of your dwarves can assist her?
He calls over in Scandinavian language. Uh, all the workers in here are dwarves, by the way, are Dvergar. And one
Hmm.
comes over and takes it and speaks to him back in the same language. And he goes over to a board and starts looking at it. Kitty goes scampering off after him.
I'll look at Siofin and go, so what did your boss need the book for?
She's trying very hard not to answer this question. Tyr pushes.
This is the meat and potatoes of it.
All of the new Hellites are indeed Hellites. There are 10,000 of us. The rest of the energy will be used to superpower us to God level, and me to greater God level. You will not be
So
able to stop it. Hela has won already.
she doesn't have the book yet.
She seems now she's in a bit of a quandary here, Surfin, because one, she has a master now, right? Whether she doesn't want one, but she got one,
Hmm.
and therefore her instinct is to want the book for the mistress to be able to do what she wants to do. But at the same time, she's probably relieved. So you're getting these weird emotional swings out of her.
Yeah.
This is like must serve the master, but screw that chick because I don't want to be undead. I want it to be me.
Yeah, but that's done, right?
Hmm.
Tyr does bump in and he asks a question. He says, "Were you conscious when she removed your soul?" She doesn't answer, but a tear rolls down her left cheek. Tyr's like,
Sounds like a yes to me.
Here is a question, Tyr. Um, kind sir. Would the other gods of the dead have any knowledge of this or be able to help? Anubis, Hades.
eh, none of them are close to her. You know this.
I know, but they may have felt some shift in the realm of the dead, an influx of dark power.
I
They
don't
may have
think so,
felt.
he says. I think this is something that's completely separate from the underworld. Most of the most of the underworld are just bureaucrats. The only one that
True.
might be able to match with her a little bit is Hades, and all he cares about is his women.
Persephone, etc.
Mm. No one comes close to Hela.
I see. So, well, how do we stop her?
She once again is trying very hard to not answer the question, and Tyr pushes, leans in, and she says, "Don't let her get the book."
Well, that sounds simple enough.
Here,
It's not.
good sir,
I know, but my
can
character would say that.
can I borrow you for a moment?
Which one? Who?
Here.
Oh, Tyr. Yeah, sure. He gets up and walks with you.
hmm I left the book in my realm. This is out of earshot of it with my wife.
Yes.
The mortals may have gone to see her. She was strictly instructed not to release the book. If my safety was something in danger, the book may not have escaped, but information may have escaped. Would you
Well,
like
they.
to
Oh, sorry.
would you like to accompany me to my home to secure the book?
Hmm. Yes, Asgard would be a safer place.
I am going to I'm going to go get the cloaca.
Okay.
This
Excuse
is
me,
the
sir.
second time I've been pulled away from a naked woman today.
Yeah, well, this is not a sexy situation, dude.
I know. It's not. I'm just making a
That's the
joke.
fucking autopsy I've ever seen. Anyways,
Oh, she is well endowed.
Eugene. Eugene!
Alright.
Focus.
Yeah, now I'm focused.
When I was kidnapped, did you go visit my wife?
Mm-hmm.
Yep, we did.
What did you do while you were there?
Well, I
Actually,
mean, well, technically, I didn't really. My character didn't really do anything. We talked and we tried to get a hold of Puffin, if I recall correctly.
did you gather any information regarding the book?
Uh, I think we'd already, because we had looked at it a bit, but I think we'd already gathered everything beforehand before we brought it to there for safekeeping.
Yep.
Because beforehand is when we went to the
Let me
was yeah.
correct you there and help you out.
Okay.
There, GOP. You made a freaking copy of it.
We did beforehand.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was before we went there. But
that's what he
yes, we did
wants you
make
to
it.
know, though.
Okay, yeah. No, that's
But
fine.
he should know that because he was there when it happened.
Was he?
Mm-hmm. Yes, he
No.
was.
Okay.
I wasn't there when you made a copy. That was when you were looking for me.
Yeah.
You went to
he
visit
was
my
not
wife,
with
and she
you.
told you that the book couldn't leave, but the information, could. And you guys made a copy and then brought it to that person
Oh, okay. I
who
thought we made a
And then you
copy
made a
when.
copy. That's right. And then you gave it to who?
They let him look at it, then took it back.
Right. No, they
the
had made a copy. Kitty made a copy, and they showed
Yeah.
him the copy, and he translated it into English and gave him a copy of that, and then they gave it to Yo Yo Mama at Omnicorn International.
Mhm. But from what we were told before, you need to actually physically have the book. Like getting a copy of
That's
what's
what the
written
old
on the
man
book
said.
doesn't.
That's right.
Yeah. So the
You
original is
explain that
still
to
in the
me.
place.
You
But yeah.
explain that to me and Tier.
Yeah, I explained everything that happened. I just thought that we did that before you got kidnapped.
Mm-mm.
No,
Because
you
you had
didn't.
already.
You didn't. You didn't.
Because, yeah.
Tyr says, "Have you connected with your realm yet?
No, I have not. I'm about to.
You might want to."
Let's go. And just Boom.
Kitty's happy with the dwarves.
And the
And
cat
so I
and the
will.
wolf stays there watching over the naked wolf. Should probably put a blanket on her.
You can if you'd like. Yeah. Like I said, this is not a sexual situation whatsoever.
Right.
So you stay with Kitty and the prisoner. All right. So Tyr, Ryzen, and the almighty Cloaca, which Tyr occasionally throws a very odd look at you from time to time. He doesn't understand the concept. You pop into his realm. Absolute cataclysm.
Well, this isn't how I remembered it.
No, everything is on
This is
fire.
this is what I was afraid
There are
of.
bodies all over the place, and they all look the same or similar. They look just like. Oh, here it is. This
I
hundreds
am
of them.
going. I am going to. If I see anything negative that's getting struck with lightning, just indiscriminately destroyed.
You don't find anything. You look
I'm.
around. Of course, you and your wife have, you're married,
Hmm.
so you know that you can't find her. Everything is torched and broken, but you do know you guys have your little kind of exchange box, right?
Hmm.
And you go and immediately go search for that, and everything inside is safe because it's magically protected box. And
Hmm.
inside of it, there's a note,
Hmm.
and the note is from your wife. She says, "I held them as long as I could, but I had to leave. I'm at the bureaucracy."
I'll show the note to Tyr.
He's like, The book is nowhere, I'm assuming.
Uh, she probably took it with her when she went to the bureaucracy.
We can only hope. He's looking at these dead cult members. If they were powered up like Siorfin said they would be with the book, there wouldn't be so many dead. I mean, your wife is a goddess, but she's not that powerful. No disrespect. So
Of
these
course.
were certainly not empowered Hellites. We should go to the bureaucracy.
Indeed.
I do not have pass for that. Do you?
They sent Hana to find me. I can follow her trail when she teleports.
Well, you don't need to do that. You can just go. You're just simply banned.
Yeah,
You know,
I'm banned, but
by
you
writ,
know,
not by power.
yeah, by writ, not by power. So why don't we live a little, sir? I'll buy you a drink after this is all over. We
He
can go
cracks
drinking
his
with
neck.
Uncle Hachiman.
Well, he would be the one I know. The one he'd worry about would be Susamon. But
Oh yeah, that's
or
true.
some of the Yomi. They're pretty high bangers.
Tsukeyomi?
No, well, I mean, and keep in mind the celestial bureaucracy is Asia. All the
Yep,
pantheons create a coalition, right?
the Jade Emperor.
Yeah. So, Cloaca, hold
Hmm.
on to it.
All right.
Go ahead.
Yep, I'm going to teleport there. Also, if you see Nuwa, say nothing.
Fair enough.
So are we gonna teleport there without Lady's character?
I'm
Um,
not with you guys.
you guys split the party again, geniuses.
Well,
I'm going to
But
teleport
you
first
guys
back.
come into the
Hmm.
celestial bureaucracy now.
Hmm.
As soon as you enter, you knew this was going to happen.
Hmm.
You see the cascading twinkle of the surrounding atmosphere of the celestial bureaucracy, which when people who are on lists like you and technically
Hmm.
Tyr too, he's not on a list, but he is on a list. You ain't getting out unless you're allowed
Hmm.
out. So you're in here. You guys
Mhm.
see the celestial bureaucracy, and it's a series of large islands with beautiful gardens and lakes, not too dissimilar to what Ryzen had created. It's very similar looking. It's just much, much, much bigger. There are palaces and shrines and little cities dotting all over the place. You guys are, of course, up in the air. And Quite immediately, you see a battalion of incoming dudes in robes.
Can I sense where my wife is?
You can.
I will teleport us to her.
Alrighty. You're inside a minor palace. Matter of no, you would be in the palace that Hana is attached to.
Mhm.
And You see your wife. She is injured, but not severely. And
Mhm.
Hana is seeing to her, and there seems to be a herbalist as well seeing to her. And Whilst they're doing that, in her hand, clutched like a death grip, is that frickin' book.
Here.
He nods his head, and she sees you, and of course, you see tears welling up, and you guys embrace, uh,
Mhm.
and you tell her to give it to Tyr. I'm assuming.
Yes. Well, to give it to me, and then I'll give it to Tyr.
Oh, right. Well, that's true. That's what she would do. That happens. Tyr has it. He says, "Meet me in Asgard in your due time."
Mm-hmm.
He grabs a hold of you by the around the neck, cloaca, and you're back in Asgard.
All right.
You've had quite the adventure. The almighty cloaca. And
Yeah. Yeah.
Tyr, he just nodded you to follow, right? And He's not where he was before. He's somewhere else. Matter of fact, he's entering into a throne room, and you're following behind him as he. I'm assuming you're following orders.
Yeah, I'm
Um,
following.
and He walks into this gigantic throne room, and there's a ton of people in here. It's court business type of stuff. But he doesn't. He ignores all of that, and he walks straight to the throne. And there is the very impressive man with an eye patch on it. And
Yeah,
It
horrified
looks like
old.
Anthony Hopkins.
it looks exactly like Anthony Hopkins because that is the only proper way for him to look. And he kneels.
I guess I kneel too. Like, oh,
Okay.
yeah.
And He's speaking in a language you don't understand. And The Odin, who is sitting in front of him, is responding, and they're having a conversation. Odin says something off to his side, and you see several. Well, you don't know what they are, but they're Jotun giants come in. Tyr stands up and he hands the book to them, and they walk off with it. Right. They have a Tyr standing now, and he and Odin are having a conversation. Then during the conversation, you see he kind of motions his hand back and says in English, because it's your name, P. Eugene. What was it?
Cool.
Stuhlman.
Stuhlman. He doesn't use your stupid, code name.
A
Your
Well, you
mighty.
could
AKA.
call me by. I
No,
still want my first name to be
this is a
Pepe.
formal conversation.
Yes.
Um, and Oh, yes, that's the only bit of the conversation you understood was your name.
Hmm.
And It continues on for a few minutes. Odin seems to acknowledge Tyr, and he stands up and walks down, and everybody in the room bows as he stands. He's Tyr's a big dude. Tyr's like nearly 8 feet tall, right? Odin is bigger. And he's got a spear in his hand, but he's using more like a cane as he comes down the walkway. He's very powerful. He has an incredible presence, but he's also very wizened, right?
Very, very old.
Mhm.
Yeah, very old, and he's not like Tyr, right? In his presence. Nevertheless, he comes down and he shakes Tyr's hand, the one he still has, and he shifts to English. He says, "Very good job, the God of Justice." And he looks over at you and he says, "I've been told that you've been useful."
Oh, me? I try my best.
Hmm. Valkyrie, take him, check him, reward him, and then
Now,
turn
my
around and
character.
walk off.
Yeah, okay. I
A
guess
bunch
I
of
go with the Valkyrie.
extremely buff ladies come up to you.
Oh
They're
no.
all bigger than you are. How tall is your character?
I think he's like 6'1", if I
Yeah,
recall
okay.
correctly.
They're all like 6'5" or so, right? They're
Yeah.
big, buff chicks. And uh, they're not flying, so you don't see their wings, but those are magical things anyway. But anyway, they don't really ask. They kind of just grab a hold of you. One of them grabs you and throws you on her shoulder, and they go walking into another chamber. What would you like to do?
Um,
Play the
I'm.
bongos on her butt.
Well, if I'm just grabbed, I can't really do anything. I'm not gonna fight them.
I didn't think
So
so.
You should smile.
yeah, I'm smiling. I'm just like, this has been the most eventful day of my life.
It has been.
You know,
It has been.
and my
Uh,
character is probably assuming something is going to happen that is probably wrong about. But
yeah, no, he is wrong.
yeah,
These are Valkyrie. These are not ninjas.
yeah, I know.
By the time you get to the door they're heading to, an entire detachment is surrounding you. By the way, of these Valkyrie,
Mhm.
these extremely buff ladies with swords on their back. And when they go in, they travel down a hallway. It takes a few minutes actually to get where you're going. They say nothing to you, right? When you do get to this area, you're in this beautiful lounge. I'll call it a lounge. And they put you down, and they speak in this language again. You don't know. And these there's several people in this room, but the ones that come over to you look kind of like the assistant tier had. These little Alfir, right? Elves. And they come over to you and they try a couple languages, and you recognize, oh, that was German, and that one was Indian, and then they English, and you
Oh,
recognize
that one.
that one. And they're like, oh, very well, and they're talking to you, and they say, we are to examine you now. The Valkyrie have all crossed their arms, looking at you.
What, examine me like a physical?
Yes, clothes off.
Okay, and it's like I've been had a busy day. I'm just making small talk as I'm taking off my pigeon costume.
Okay. And they start, yeah, they have all these kind of magical implements, and they start, you feel these sensations as like energy is passing through your body as they're checking stuff, and they're having their conversations are not in English, but they do respond to you in English. But any kind of scar, any kind of damage, little touch of benign cancer you didn't know about that was sitting in the left testicle, um,
Oh,
Oh no.
yeah, all of that is gone. You are in perfect health, and you get a +1 column shift to every physical stat.
oh, even the ones that are
You can't
already
you can't go beyond unearthly. Yeah.
oh,
Well,
I
no,
have
no,
nothing
excuse me.
unearthly yet.
Here you could actually,
Oh, okay, because I
but
don't
you're
have
not that high. For instance, what is your tactics?
my tactics are incredible.
So now they're amazing.
All right, my grace is amazing,
Now,
so
the
that
only
would go up to
negative
unearthly
thing, the
or
only negative,
monstrous.
well, there you go. The only negative thing is if you put any points trying to level them up, it's it's wasted because it goes
Yeah.
up 1 column shift to the beginning of the column shift. So that's the only negative part. But still, I
Oh
think
man,
you'll take +1
I
column
know.
shift all physical.
It's good. It's very good. Even though my muscle was 1 point off.
Oh, that
But that's
sucks.
okay.
That
Yeah,
sucks.
but
Yeah,
that's
no,
okay. Everything else is way more worth it.
yeah,
So I'm still
yeah.
happy.
But anyway, so you get this after the examination. and they say you're in good shape now. You can go with the Valkyrie.
Oh wow, I feel like $1,000,000.
You do. You feel better than you ever felt in your life, actually. And once they say this, the same Valkyrie comes over to grab you and throw her on her shoulder again. What do you do?
I'm just I'm along for the ride. I'm a very wait. Did I get to put my clothes back on?
Oh yeah, sure. Yeah.
Okay, good. I was gonna say, yeah, no. I guess I'm just along for the ride. I'm not gonna fight again. Like obviously, they just helped me out. So
Okay.
yeah.
Then they walk you like literally to the other side of the palace, so it takes quite a while, right? And they go down stairwells. There's various other guards. There's gates that are unlocked, and then you come to the gigantic vault that is unlocked. You walk into a treasure room. Inside the treasure
Wow.
room, there is anything you can imagine it would be in a god's treasure room. But they take you to a section where all the kind of magical trinkets are. She puts you gently down on the ground, and she speaks for the first time in English. She says, "You're allowed to choose one, only one." Now,
Wow.
effectively, you're going to get a magical item that will give you a power of your choice.
All
Right.
right, cool. Well, I'll have to look through the. I'm assuming it's something from the book, the magic item
Oh
thing.
no, you can make it up. You could be any object you like. It's a magical item that gives you one power. And of course, it's going to have all magical items have their kind of negative, but we can work that out. But
Okay,
effective, you're gaining another power via a magical item. Is basically
sweet,
sweet.
very
Um,
nice. Well, do I have some time to think about it?
Yeah,
Cause
you
yeah.
do. We'll come
All
back to it.
right, cool.
is
So back over to Asgard. We're still in Asgard, but we're back over to the Department of Ministry of Justice. Um, now, shit, this has been a while. I don't know, an hour maybe. You've been, of course,
mhm,
you've been with your wife, Puffin,
yes.
and Tyr is doing Tyr business. And the girls, Lady, Kitty. Um, Lady, Kitty is engrossed in talking with the dwarf, and he speaks perfect English, by the way. They all do. She's very interested, and the dwarf seems very happy to tell her and answer her questions. He doesn't seem frustrated whatsoever with her. But you're sitting here and you're watching this, you know, tied up naked lady who has been regagged, and she's looking right at you, and she just her the anger has gone away, and it's
Yeah.
just regret. What would you like to do, lady?
I'm thinking,
Oh, okay.
what do I want to do? I make one wrong move in this place, I'm dead. So,
What?
So just be a
stick
instrument
on the
of the
wall.
law, which you are, and you'll be just fine in this place. You're literally in
Okay.
Asgard's Ministry of Justice.
I'm making sure
Mm-hmm.
she's not. I'm checking her bindings, making sure they stay strong. What a
She's well
security
held.
person would do.
She's well
Okay.
Yeah.
held. Yeah. So that's it. You just wait
Yep.
and watch. All right.
Yep.
Okay.
So it's been about an hour. Um, uh, you of course have to make your decision, but the cloaca is finished, um, and the Valkyrie actually put you on like a little. Well, one of them takes you in this kind of like cargo vessel or transport vessel and takes you back over to the ministry. So you come walking back in. And of course, you get passed through no problem. And you're back in the room. You see Kara. And of course, Kitty is over just having a great old chat back and forth with this dwarf. And about that time, Ryzen pops in. Now, during that time, I'm assuming you're just consoling, you're checking with your wife, right?
Indeed. And
Okay.
I'm also checking to make sure, making sure she still has her soul, so to speak.
Oh yeah, no, she's fine. She
Okay,
she
good.
she did put up a bit of a fight, but then she split because he felt that was the prudent thing to do. And of course, she's right. Um, yeah, she's not in that bad a shape at all.
Okay,
Uh,
good. So I'll
So how is everything?
I'll
I'm asking what happened.
I'm going to open
oh,
a
that's right. You
small
weren't
win.
there. Yeah.
I'm gonna open a small like window portal so that Kitty and her can see inside.
Okay. And
It's basically just my realm on fire with dead cultists and all kinds of things.
well, I'm assuming you put the fire out.
Oh yeah,
I
I
mean,
put the fire out. It's more of like this is what it used to be.
yeah,
Now this is what I came home to.
right. I
And
mean, the damage is significant. It might well take you a year to get it back to where it was.
mhm.
Did the dragonfish survive?
No, he's going to have to remake everything or reset
Yeah.
everything. He's already got the pattern in place, so it's not that big a deal. But yeah, it's a pain in the ass.
Mm.
But it's
Mhm.
also
And
the
that-
sense of invasion. Of course, the thing that's going through your head is how did they get in? Because they shouldn't have been able to.
that's what I need to figure out then, but me and Tyr can, discuss that later.
True.
Or
Speaking of Tyr,
so,
into the
mhm.
room he comes.
Tyr, I've returned.
Is your maiden well?
Yes, she is well, and she still has her soul.
Very good.
She escaped before any kind of impudent invasions could occur.
He says, that is very good to hear. Gather round, and he has to say it twice because Kitty is engrossed. Kitty, understands she kind of comes over with her head down, and she
I
has a little
do
kid that.
point out that she's gotten very calm and a whole lot of hatred has left her eyes.
Oh yeah, no one. Well, Tyr could
No
care
one
less
cares.
about Siofin. That's not the focus here. Hela is the focus to him. She's just to be punished. He is a god of justice. He's very black and white about everything.
Mhm.
But he's order, not well. Actually, they call it justice, but actually he's a god of order, not justice, right? But nevertheless, he does nod his head to you for acknowledging that. And of course, Siofin is right there, so she is listening to all this. And he says, "Well, I got some good news. Well, I guess it's all kind of good news. Um, uh, the Grand Vizier actually looked at the book, and he is one of the highest, magical users in our reality. And he explained that the book is more than magic; it is an entity unto itself, which will be hard
Mm,
to lock it up properly, but it shall be. Hela will not be able to get it. That is assured. Because she might be willing to go against us, but she's not going to mess with Odin. That's for sure. Nevertheless, and he looks over at you, Puffin, and says, "This is probably how they got in."
mm, do
And
so.
he says, "The good news is this: you have an army of 10,000 Hellites led by a very bitter, angry, and violent goddess who is powerful as hell. But they are just simple Hellites in effect. Therefore, I'm going to see how you deal with it.
I'll
Good
probably
luck."
need to.
And he leaves the room.
I'll probably need to improve my power somehow before I face off.
He
Well, you
never
got
said we had to face her. We just have to face the Halites.
right.
Well,
Well, the good thing is they don't have the book, because if they did, you guys would be out of this fight, right? It would be you
mhm.
would have the literally the gods would be it'd be another Titanomachy type of situation, right? Because she would have 10,000 basically gods, right? That has been thwarted thanks to you, and that's good. Excuse me. That's a good thing. She is still Hela is Hela. If Hela does anything super direct, Of course, the Elohim councils will get involved, right? But keep in mind, Hela has done nothing directly, right? Everything has been through agents, which is as it's supposed to be. You have her first right hand lieutenant right here in front of you. The only other major lieutenant that you know of that she has is Ember, and that is a vicious beast. So that's a problem. But otherwise, they're all these cultists which you fought and dealt with. There's just 10,000 of them somewhere.
Yeah.
Somewhere.
Well, I'm sure we probably have some of them down, but there's a lot more that we don't.
Well, you
so.
have you have their numbers are slightly reduced, but effectively. But once again, I repeat the word somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so we'll leave it there. Or well, I'll let you ask the last question because there's one question you didn't ask of Seorfin.
GOP?
I'm trying to rack my brain on what we asked her and what we didn't ask her.
Lady?
She doesn't know where Helen's at.
Where are
We don't know what realm.
Yeah,
Sure, I wonder where the rest of the Hellites are at.
Oh,
You want to tell us, Thorfinn?
There you go.
Well, okay,
Thank you,
yeah.
lady.
Well, because I thought they were scattered around. I thought they were scattered
they might
about.
well be, but you didn't ask
Yeah.
this question. She
That's
doesn't
a
know
good
what
point.
Hela is, but she most certainly knows where the Hellites are.
Because she was in charge of them.
Oh, good point. Very nice save.
And is there any way to take him out without,
No, there's not. No.
Okay.
It's a numbers game. But she says, and of course it'll be up to you guys to think about how you want to deal with it. And you have resources at your behest, so think about it. But nevertheless, she's kind of given up the fight now. She knows it's over. And she's probably stuck like this. She doesn't really know. Nevertheless, you remove the gag, and she doesn't. You don't need tears coercion. She answers you very clearly. She says they are scattered, but the vast majority of them are in another cavern that we found in New England. And she gives you coordinates, and I don't know. We'll say it's in where would be fun. Oh, of course, under Salem.
That's a yeah, that's good.
Yeah,
I like
good.
that.
Yeah, that's good.
Well, maybe I'll say hello to the Celestial Council next time.
Well, they know you were there.
Yeah.
And they let you leave.
Appreciate it.
Because you were with your wife for an hour and you just came back. You didn't even think about it. They didn't stop you. They could have.
Well, as long as Odin's aware of what's going on, everything will.
Oh yeah, no, Odin involved is a serious situation now. It's well beyond Tyr. But once again, as Tyr told you, Hela hasn't broken the law yet.
Mm-hmm.
She's not directly involved.
1,
and
2,
that is allowed.
3, 4.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, is that 5 pointy fingers, no thumb on her hand on the hip?
Yes.
You know how long it took? You know how long it took for me to notice that?
You never noticed that, did you?
It was like
you were looking at something else.
It was like today. I finally noticed the hand.
AI doesn't like the hand stuff, dude. This one right here, however, let me bring it up full. These ones seem okay. Maybe
Sometimes
I don't
it
see
gets
all
away.
fingers, but no, they only have 3 fingers. All right, fine, it's not good. Yeah, AI doesn't like this. Let's see here. No
Can't
hands.
really tell on
That's
that
good.
up.
That's good.
No
That's
hands.
good. This one I do. No hands. Although I think this might be a piece of art. I think it's a storm, right? It's a very beefy storm, but I think it's storm. Yeah, it is what it is. But anyway.
I need to work with my wife to make an artifact to help me probably boost my magical damage.
Well, I'm going to give you a karma, and you can do whatever you like.
Yeah.
I obviously Kitty is an NPC.
Hmm.
Lady's character, unfortunately, is new. If Blue Titan was
Yeah.
here, she would have gotten a similar treatment to GOP. But you're a new
Yeah.
character. You
I
have
don't
no
I
get that
know.
bearing.
GOP treatment either.
Um,
I know.
and you are a god, so
Yes.
it's expected, right? Therefore,
Hmm.
at the end of it, you might well have an audience with somebody. You will, I'm
Oh,
sure. But as of right now, it just works out that it's GOP
it's
is the one who
immortal.
got bonuses. Kitty did too.
Hmm.
That little
Hmm.
bangle she got actually has something involved. I don't know what it is, but it's something.
And that's thanks to me,
That is thanks to you.
because I thought of her.
Although Kitty
Also,
is not really much of a combatant, right?
that's all good.
Although in
By
this
the
fight she
way,
would be because she can fight Hellites. She's that level.
I'm going to also one note on the necklace. If she wants, I can turn the main like cat head gem on the center.
Hmm.
I can turn it blue, so it is a memento, so she'll always remember her friend.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's fine. I haven't really decided what it's going to be. It's not going to be so banger. I mean, she is an NPC, but I'll give her something interesting.
Hey, it's just
It's
something to remember Blue Titan by.
Oh, fair. Yeah, I get you. I get you. That's fine. And she appreciates that. So all right. So you guys need to think for next week. How are you going to deal with the situation? It's nowhere near as ugly as it could have been. You have Hellites and a shitload of them to deal with, which you guys yourselves couldn't do that, right? So you have to think about how are you going to deal with that. The only good thing about the situation as it stands, you won't have to face Hela directly, because if Hela does get herself involved directly, well, then you're going to have, uh, you know, there's going to be other people getting involved because they're well aware of what's going on and they're watching, right? So, and Hela's not stupid, right? So chances are you might see her, but you won't have to fight her because she's been through that before. Anyway, any questions?
Nope, it's about to be a ballroom blitz.
It
Well,
is. Yeah.
I probably need to see about improving my power. I'm thinking I should. Maybe I should go talk to some other deities and see if there's something. Maybe there's some kind of. Maybe there's a celestial armor I can get or something to fight. Because if I could get myself some chain lightning, that would help.
Well, I'm going to give you karma for today,
Oh, okay.
of course. But from your situation, it's not going to be anything outside of karma, though. But I'm going to give you a
Oh
lot,
no.
so you can actually do what you want. Um, with GOP, I gave you most of your karma in what I gave you, right?
That's fair.
Yeah.
I'm
So
happy with all that.
take an additional 200.
Okay.
Okay. The rest of you, and Kitty will get half of this, so I'm going to have to, because Kitty's sitting on a shit load of karma already. I'm going to have to kind of, I don't know I don't know what I want to do with her. I didn't create her to be a DM, GM's character. But whatever, it doesn't really matter. The rest of you get 2,000.
Hooray!
Very nice.
Yeah,
Cool.
technically you probably got more than that,
Oh,
but that's
like
okay.
it's the amount of bumping all those up. Yeah, yeah.
But
But
that's
I'm
okay.
not gonna complain. I'm not
Well,
complaining at all.
if you, I don't play a lot of them, but I've read all the modules from Marvel Superhero, and it's quite common when we go kind of slightly cosmic that this kind of bumping of levels happens. It's actually a very normal thing within the modules historically. The Cosmic Cube is one of the biggest bumps actually. That
Finally.
particular module. But anyway, so we have that. We're sitting in Asgard in the Ministry of Justice in the clinic, let's call it. Um, and yeah, we'll pick it up next week and see how these guys decide to deal with it. You do have karma to spend, so you guys can certainly improve things. In a way, lady, you're kind of lucky because you got a fresh character, but you got That's a lot of karma, right?
Yeah.
So now you got to keep in mind that there will be a few specialty Hellites I'll throw in, of course, but mainly you're dealing with normal ones. You probably won't deal with Hella, and if you do, it'll only be for a round or two. You have to
Can
think about,
die again.
well, you got to think about how you got
That's
to go about it.
against the law.
Because we can't
That
actually kill them. That's another trick too.
one of the whole thing is, if she kills a mortal human, though I'm a miss, that's illegal. She can be punished for it, right?
Right. No. What do you mean? Say that again.
If for some reason we end up with tangling with Hela, if we get killed, that's against their
No, if
laws.
no, if you're saying if we kill someone, because that
No,
was
I was referring she kills one of us.
Well, now keep in mind, there's a big difference between Hella involving herself and you involving yourself with Hella. That's a
Okay,
different
yeah.
fine.
thing, right? But he's right.
Fine.
Because now many times when we deal with zombies or robots, there is no karma affected, but we're not dealing with those. We're dealing with sentient people. Therefore, the heroic rule of kills does apply to karma. So, therefore, what I would suggest you do is spend it all or most of it,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
Just in case. But then again, you have, like I said, you have to think about how are you going to deal with this. You know where the majority of them are. Will the other ones that are scattered will be scattered, and there'll be potential future something or another maybe. But the majority of them are sitting in some cavern underneath Salem, which she gave you the coordinates. So how are you going to do it? Anyway,
Yep.
that's any other questions?
Do they still breathe?
Yeah. I think they're just normal, except they're
Yeah,
brought back.
their physiology works quite normally. They do have a better regeneration than humans do, but they can't come back from, severed limbs and things like that. And they all have some kind of ability. Matter of fact, you don't really know what Syorfin looked like before. This might be a down-powered version of her, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Although that is kind of banging, but it's not like Tyr, who was in the room. That guy literally just kind of breathe on you and you're done, right?
Yeah.
That's like, but he's like class, shift Z's and class 1000 and stuff, so it's different. But
Mhm.
anyway, so thank you all for coming in. Do appreciate it. Keep in mind that. Depending what the guys decide to do, but I imagine it'll be sooner than later, we are going to switch over to a fantasy 5th edition campaign. I'd love to have new players come in. And I know many of you will watch this after the fact, which I do appreciate. And if you want to come and try it out, please do. It's first level, so it's a great place to get in and understand it. And it's going to be old school, so it'll be easy and fun. All right. So, yeah, later, everybody.
Good night.
Goodbye.